Hello, and welcome to episode 23 of Talking Snacks, a gaming podcast. I'm joined by, as always,
your boy Cuff.
Your boy Cuff.
Out here, 23. It's an unlucky number.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought it was a good number. There was a movie based off of it.
Jim Carrey did a movie with 23.
What was the one with the cards?
21.
Oh.
Yeah, that's Blackjack. No,
Shit.
Before Jim Carrey went off the deep end, he did that 23 movie.
He looks like he's back, doing good stuff. I seen an interview with him.
The Illuminati got a hold of him and brainwashed him, right? Or he's a clone.
Or like, he broke free of the Illuminati spell.
Maybe.
And then that's why he grew a beard and told everybody to live their lives and don't buy into the media. That seems a very anti-Illuminati thing to do.
Or maybe he's a reptilian lizard person.
And one day his camouflage fell, and then his human persona
took over.
Yeah, and he just didn't know how to do it. Well, anyway, this is a podcast
he went on the Joe Rogan podcast and dropped acid with Joe Rogan, and now his third eye is woke as fuck, and he's back to reality.
This is a gaming podcast, but as you do know, we do tangents, and I find it fun. It's good stuff. No remorse for these.
What happens if a blind person does like LSD or psilocybin?
Well, you ever been like super drunk and closed your eyes?
Yeah.
You just hold on and hope you don't throw up, I guess. That's that's my best thing. Because I've done some psychedelics, and when you close your eyes, it's intense.
Colorful.
Yeah, it's intense. You're definitely locked in there, and there's nothing you can do. But fuck, they got to be ready to deal with it. They deal with it every fucking day. So I don't know.
They just they drop acid or something, and damn, I'm smelling weird things. I get hallucinatory smells or something.
You smell that?
No,
the hell you talking about?
Something smells like popcorn burning.
Like
you all right, homie?
He's having a stroke. Anyway, yeah, this is where we get together, once a week. Do a little gaming news, gaming talk. You brought up Joe Rogan.
It helps to have the news up, or the notes up.
Yeah, we'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
Weekly intro, that's how we have it listed. You talked about Joe Rogan for a second, and I watched an interview the other day with Joe Rogan and Bernie Sanders.
Oh yeah, I haven't gotten around to watching that yet, but he had him on his show recently, right?
I don't know if it was that recent. It was sometime last year, I think.
Right.
Sometimes I love Joe Rogan. Sometimes I could give a shit less. But right. I like the way he treated Bernie.
That's somebody that's on his side, so he's going to treat.
Well, yeah. But he gave Bernie a big platform,
Mm-hmm.
Asked some really good questions, I thought. I don't want to get too political. But let's just can that real fast. Who you going to vote for? You going to vote?
Yeah, I'm registered.
I haven't. How do I register? Am I going to do it online?
No, I mean, I think you can do it at the library if I'm not mistaken.
Does Stoke still have a library?
I don't know. I registered to vote at UNCG, back when I was going for my first degree, and I literally just filled out a piece of paper, and then I got something in the mail that was like, "Hey, you're good to go now." Because before that, I didn't vote in the previous election.
Damn, I already broke last week's promise. I already said but we're not going to
oh, God, that's going to be a whole thing again.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to bring that up. The whole reason I ask is because I watched that, and man, I just really want universal health care. That's literally my whole fucking thing for voting. I could give literally no shits about anything else. I just really think I would like to go to the doctor when I need to go to the doctor and not have to worry about bankrupting myself over something that may or may not be wrong with me.
Mm-hmm.
It's like rolling into a casino with no money.
Or something that's beyond your control.
Yeah. So I roll into the doctor for a checkup, and they're like, "You have cancer." And I'm like, "Well, good luck, because I don't know what the fuck to do about that." Go bankrupt.
There's a really cool video. I need to show it to you after this podcast is over, if you'll remind me, of this guy who went on Fox News that was promoting universal Medicare. And keep in mind, this is one specialized doctor versus how they do the box thing, when they have a whole bunch of people weighing in on a thing.
There's 4 or 5 people across the bottom, and then one takes the ones or whatever.
Right. And then they'll do the overall thing where it's the guest is in this box right here, and then all along that box is specialists or opinionated people or whatever the fuck. And he went on Fox News or whatever. I don't know how long ago this has been. Probably a few months ago, maybe. but he was promoting like the benefits of like universal Medicare or whatever. And of course they were like firing at him like, well, it's predicted that it's going to cost $39 trillion over 10 years and yada yada yada. And like he just stays cool, calm, and collected through the whole thing. And he's like, yes, but like, why are you slapping numbers on human lives? Like that's ridiculous. Like if you compare that to like military benefits or public defense or military spending or public defense spending, like that's nothing but a drop in the hat. And then he just went on and on to like cite all this other stuff, kind of like a Ben Shapiro type thing, and just listed off all these things and studies and stuff that would happen. And of course, everybody's like, that's ridiculous. There's no.
Yeah, like I said, I don't want to get this to be political, but I just think that, fuck, I have a platform and I'd like to talk about it, I guess. Fuck it, I said I'd never do this, but here it is.
Well, the main appeal of it to me is like, even if you have health insurance, it's kind of like car insurance.
You're going to end up spending less in the long run. Well, unless you're making... Well, if you have enough money to where it doesn't matter anyway...
You don't need insurance.
It doesn't fucking matter.
Right.
But for people around here that like to argue that it's going to take more money from them, it's like, dog, no, it's not. Like, I looked up like his plan. It's like a 4% tax increase per $50,000. Some weird ass shit like that. It was like, if you make $50,000 or less, 4%. 4% of your yearly income.
There you go. That's 4 cents for every dollar.
And it's like, okay, make 100K, 8%. No one, average for our area is like 56, some shit like that. Which I'm like, what the fuck is that? Who the hell's making that?
Right. Right.
But I work in my little rural. God, I hate that word. Rural. Trying to enunciate it. I work in that little shop in Stokesdale, and I bring that up, and everyone's like, "No, that's socialist shit." And I'm like,
do they have health insurance?
No, because they can't fucking afford it.
Oh, well, there you go.
Yeah, because one's arguing with me, and I'm like, "Well, I want to do Sanders just for the fucking health thing." He's like, well, no, they're going to take our money. I'm like, they're taking your fucking money anyway.
They're taking your money anyway. Why not pay like a smidge more to live? You know what I mean?
I don't get it. That's why I just wanted to ask how to vote. I mean, I've never registered to vote, but...
I'm pretty sure you can do it at like libraries and shit. Usually around election time, which I guess will be...
Yeah, Facebook asked me the other day, which got me interested in this whole thing. So I've been watching, and apparently Bernie's doing killer in the Democratic section because apparently everybody else is just doing so bad that Bernie's the only one.
The dude had Killer Mike do a whole like
that was
spiel for him and everything. I was like, damn.
I think
kind of want to take a bullet for this man.
What's his competition?
In the Democratic Party?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea.
No, it's that fucking guy. He keeps saying crazy shit and touching kids.
The guy that directed Guardians of the Galaxy, James Gunn.
No.
Okay.
Did he touch kids?
Apparently.
Holy shit. The whole world's crumbling. James Gunn for president.
It's Jared from Subway.
There you go. Jared for president. Anyway, we're going to move past the politics.
No.
It's been a week.
It has been a week. I had another thing to say about that real quick.
All right, go back.
Before we move on. I seen a Twitter post thing on Imgur the other day. It was pretty fantastic.
Man, what a time we live in.
Right.
See a Twitter post on Imgur. Are you sure you're pronouncing Imgur right?
No.
Because I heard someone say it the other day.
Imgur?
Imgur, yeah. And I was like, man, that makes way more sense when I read the word.
How?
I don't know. It just does. I don't know why. Because maybe it's the word itself. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Say it the way you want.
I call it Imgur. It's Imgur to me. Whatever.
Yeah, it's fine. That's what I call it too. But then I watched that thing and I was like, damn.
That might be wrong. If it is wrong, I'll own up to it. Whatever. But to me, it's Imgur. But there was like a Twitter screenshot that somebody posted on there, and it was like basically what you said. Of where like, you know how they do like the fucking Twitter screenshot things.
Yeah.
Where it's like person : saying this.
And then there's like a direct line.
Yeah, and then there's like a reply thing, and it was like, it was basically went along the lines of like, I can't believe Bernie Sanders wants us to pay money to people who are using the universal healthcare thing, and then it was like, you mean like that thing you do with your insurance already, where you pay towards your insurance company and they use it to help people, and it's like, it's basically the same fucking thing. When you think about it like your car insurance. You could drive 30 years without using your car insurance, but you need it. But that money that you're putting towards your insurance company is going towards, other people's wrecks and stuff. And
then sometimes whatever happens to your car won't even be fucking covered because
it might be an act of God policy.
Yeah, we got on this the whole fucking day.
Yeah.
And not to throw my girlfriend into the mix, but she just recently signed up for her health insurance again this year. And I guess she's doing it through the Affordable Care thing, which is still a thing in some way or form.
The Obamacare thing?
I guess so. Healthcare.gov. Anyway, she went and, I'm like, well, yeah, if you need it, do it. She's like, well, you need it. I've had heart issues and stuff. I'm like, well, yeah, but my premiums were...
You'll get denied immediately.
Yeah, because my shit is high as fuck. It's like, hey, have you ever had any of these issues? Do you smoke? Do you drink? And
do you have a pre-existing condition?
You put heart and you put smoking and drinking on there, and dude, yeah, good luck with my paycheck. It's over. Anyway, she went to do a regular just lady checkup. Insurance didn't fucking cover it. For a woman to have health insurance and not get covered for just like a OBGYN fucking checkup, fucking garbage. So now she couldn't even... Well, she's going to go back tomorrow, but she's like, I don't know if I can go back tomorrow because... I owe them like $500 because my insurance didn't pick it up. And I'm like,
what the fuck is the point of
what the fuck was the point of the insurance? She's like, well, I can go to the doctor and I can go to the dentist. I'm like, how often do you fucking go to the doctor or the goddamn dentist? Fuck.
Yeah, it's
people. I hate to throw me, but like, I was supposed to have checkups for heart things for a while. And
how the fuck do you afford it?
Yeah, and I wasn't about to fucking do the healthcare thing. I got a bill for $20,000 over here. They keep sending them. I'm probably getting loud. I got...
It's all good.
Sorry. Passion. Anyway.
Speaking of health insurance, though, your boy also got him some health insurance.
I know, man, you lucky fucker. Man, this is becoming a political podcast.
It's a sad day when you have to celebrate getting insurance, Right? Like...
I know, you sent me a fucking picture of your card yesterday, and I was like, man, how the fuck... 10 years ago, you sent a picture of, like, your fucking new Xbox, and you're like, oh, hell yeah, dude. Fucking in your...
Dude, that's hype. When can I come over and play it?
In your late 20s, you send a fucking Blue Cross Blue Shield card with your name on it, and I'm like, damn.
Bro, what's your copay? What's your deductibles, dog? Like, fucking hype.
I'm ready. Can I get on yours?
It's adult shit.
Yeah.
No, I had to pay out the ass for it because apparently students are required to have some kind of insurance. And if you don't have pre-existing insurance, they give you your own insurance, which is...
So I need to enroll in school in order for the government to care about me.
Yeah, basically.
So I need to be somewhat of a productive member of society other than working and paying my income tax every
you provide to society by hooking people up with their car shit.
Yeah, and giving the government like a good old chunk of change every fucking week. Not worth it though. Not worth it. Not worth my life though. It's okay.
It also kind of doubles another benefit where I did my taxes recently and they were like, "Are you a student?" And I was like, "Yes, I am a student." And they were like, "Boy, we got some news for you. You're going to get even more money on your tax return because you lucky bitch. Student." Yeah.
You lucky bitch. Yeah.
Good stuff.
Yeah. I don't know. Taxes are supposed to hit for me sometime. She said it should start on this Friday. Something held it up. Whatever. Don't know. Government's weird. Government is fucking weird.
The government is weird. It's been known to shut down before.
I'm going to just shut down.
Just not going to do that.
I'm going to shut down and continue to make money.
I don't understand that. I've never understood that. How the government can just shut down. It happens like, what, once every 2 years or so? They're like...
I'd say a little more spaced out.
Yeah, but it's just... The government's shut down. What does that mean?
The biggest thing that affects us, and like it doesn't even affect like a normal everyday guy. I remember it happened during like my fishing thing. And I was like really heavy into fishing. And I was like, I don't give a shit. And they were like, well, state parks are shut down. And I'm like...
Oh,
what?
Hell no. Don't the mail routes shut down too? Or
I don't think so. That would be fucking catastrophic.
Well, I thought they were technically government employees, aren't they?
I think so, but that would destroy everything.
Should ask Dustin about it, see how it affects them on their end.
Yeah. But yeah, when I was fucking, you can't fish in a...
God, I need to fish.
I paid for a license to fish in goddamn government fucking properties. And no, you can't do that. Why? Because a bunch of congressmen just decided, So, everyone gets free days off at the local parks.
But they'll still be raking in them profits.
Neat.
Gotta love it.
Yep. 15 minutes in, we haven't even talked about games.
This is a gaming podcast, usually.
Well, it's getting close to election time. I'm seeing it's berating everything in my media. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Facebook's asking me, Twitter's all over the place, and the fucking, what's it, the Iowa caucus bullshit happening? Something to do with an app. It's fucking over people's shit. I don't know, man. I don't keep up enough with it. I just know healthcare. Healthcare should be equal for every goddamn body. I shouldn't have to worry about going bankrupt having a kid. That's all I'm saying. I don't know.
In other world events, a gigantic ass massive rain put out all the fires in Australia and cured them of some kind of drought that they were also experiencing at the same time. So
I think fires and droughts go hand in hand, right?
Yeah. I'm surprised we didn't hear about any like wildfires in California last year. Usually there's like once
California just burns like year round.
Yeah, it's like once a year. It's just like California's
we'll know
on fire
there's
again.
real problems when California just isn't on fire.
I guess they just targeted Australia this time around. You know, they were like, we've hit California for the past 15 years. Let's do a different like area. You know,
just don't come to the east.
I don't think we got anything to worry about.
I know it's been fucking raining.
It rains too much over here. It's too humid for fires and shit. Could be snow, but global warming is a thing.
Yeah.
So
tired of the rain.
Me too, man. I hate rain.
I'm a delivery driver, and so it just sucks. You know, driving in the rain, I have to get out like every 2.5 fucking seconds. Just like get wet and then get in the car, turn the heat on full blast, and I'm sweating. Then I get out and then I'm fucking wet and cold again, and then I get back in the car, blast the heat, and rinse repeat for 9.5 hours. And it's like, how the fuck do I not have pneumonia? You know, body and heart on point. I guess. Knock on wood. I'll be dead next week. Let's go. Anyway,
immune system be on fleek.
Anyway, it's been a week, man. Mm-hmm. It's been a wild and crazy, wacky week. You want to start with yours?
I can.
Go for it.
I took a break from the Nier Automata grind and picked up Knights and Bikes.
I know, we talked about it last week.
Like I said I would last week. Fun game. Cool game. Very cute. Very aesthetically pleasing. Love the art style. It's very, I don't really know what to compare it to, but very adventure-y kind of game. You can definitely see where they draw inspiration from like those 1980s kids movies, like The Goonies and stuff. Because the whole premise of the game is like, one of the main girls, her dad owns like an RV park thing or something, and he's been like trickling money down, the profits are down or whatever, so like to save it from going under, her and the other girl are like going out to find like a treasure hunt type thing, like kind of like in the Goonies where they go to find the pirate's treasure, and you know,
doesn't it have a name, that cave that they go into?
I don't remember what it was, Dead Man's Cave or something like that.
That sounds generic as shit, but I'll agree with you because I have no idea.
Spielberg movie, believe it or not. But yeah, it follows that whole premise. It's really cool. There's some cool themes in there of like kids and imagination versus adults and reality and stuff. Like at the beginning of the game, it's pretty heavy, kind of like a Pixar beginning where like the new girl arrives and meets up with the other girl, and they go into like this little adventure at the. They have like
it's a little heartfelt story.
Yeah. They go to like this little putting course that's in the RV park, and it's shut down at the moment because of like the rain and weather or whatever they've got going on, and
they in North Carolina?
Nah, maybe, but it's pretty cool. You go through the putting course and everything, and they have like the environments. And then on top of the environments, they have like little doodles of like what the kids are like imagining what it would be. So it's really kind of whimsical and cute and everything. And then you get to one part, and there's like eviction notices and like overdue bills and stuff like stashed away. And the one girl that kind of shows up is like, "Oh, what's all this about? What's going on with this?" And then the main girl with the bushy ponytail things.
No names. You don't remember names?
I know the names, but it won't help if you don't.
I guess
you know what I mean.
You.
But the imaginative one, the adventure-faring one, is like, get that stuff out of here. That's adult stuff. We don't like that. And it's like, you know, it's some real shit. But okay, so yeah, it's kind of got that.
Just the explanation kind of gives me a Rugrats feel for some reason. I don't know, just
a little bit
of childlike imagination overlays, and
yeah, I mean,
seeing the world through their eyes while also being able to pick up on the real world that's going on. What's going on, Stu? I'm making pudding. Why are you making pudding at 3 a.m.?
I've lost all meaning in my life. No, but it's definitely got that. That's the main contrast to the game so far, it seems, is like they need to go find this treasure to basically save their dad from going into debt or bankruptcy or whatever. But every time they talk to somebody, they're like, "We're finding the treasure of..." It's got some name or whatever. But everybody they talk to is like, "Oh, that's just a tale. You need to stop playing around. Your imagination is running wild." So you can see where kind of
the Goonies
going. Yeah,
kind of. Yeah.
Other than that, been playing the shit out of some Battlefield 5.
You playing with our boy Cabe Lincoln?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
best pilot in Battlefield 5.
I don't hear from him. I hope he's doing good out there.
North American server. So yeah. Now he's pretty goddamn good pilot. Every time I run with him, we've kind of gotten into this routine of like, he'll be up in the skies, doing his airplane bombing thing.
You make call-outs on the ground?
He'll make call-outs on the ground, but what we've been doing recently is I've been hopping in AA tanks and kind of like follow him around. And so like whenever he gets somebody on his tail or like in a dogfight or something,
he just swoons over you.
Yeah, I'll tell him where I'm at, and he'll be like, I'll be like, bring it to me, and he'll fly over my area, shoot him down because AAs are busted.
They always have been.
Yeah, and then
I remember him in 4.
Yeah, and then he can go about doing his bombing runs and stuff. So, pretty cool little strat we've been running. Been liking it.
I had a conversation at a place I pick up parts from. It's the Advance up the road. They asked me about video games because I tell them I'm very vocal about the podcast and I play games. And the guy was like, "You play the new Call of Duty?" Generic people. Sorry for that, but you play Call of Duty.
The everyman's game.
Yeah. I'm like, I have it. I haven't really played it a lot. He's like, "Man, you played that ground war mode?" And I'm like,
"That's a fun mode. That's the big team battle mode, right?"
Well, basically, in the new one, it's Battlefield.
Right. Yeah.
There's tanks and shit.
Yeah, it's like the 16 versus 16.
Yeah, and he's just like, man, he's trying to tell me all about it. And I'm like, you're explaining Battlefield, but that game doesn't have, like, levolution. And he's like, what do you mean? I was like, if you go play Battlefield...
It doesn't have destructibility in it.
You can't just, like, level buildings. He's like, oh, you can do that in Battlefield? I'm like, yeah.
That's his whole shtick.
Yeah. I'm like, say you're getting sniped from a building. Like, why shoot the guy? Fuck the whole building up with a tank.
Send a fucking 40mm round through that window. That'll take care of the
sniping. He's like, oh, well, I like sniping on top of buildings. I'm like, you would be demolished. Your perch would be gone. Like, Get the fuck out of here. I don't want to play Call of Duty for that. And Ground War doesn't seem like a Call of Duty mode to me.
No, I've always thought, because those are both big name titles like Call of Duty, Battlefield. They always get compared.
I always feel like Battlefield lugged behind Call of Duty. Just because it's got a lot more. I don't know. It's more mechanic based, which I feel like turns people off.
It's a lot more accessible. Oh wait, which one?
Battlefield.
Oh yeah.
Because you have roles and you kind of got to designate, or else you're deemed for failure. Unless you're just soloing, then it doesn't matter, and you're a terrible team. And play the fucking objective, please. But when it comes to Call of Duty, every loadout works for fucking everybody because as long as you get good, you're good.
It's more accessible to everyone.
Yeah, but in Battlefield, you need someone to have support to lay down. I know they've changed them up, but in 4 it was like support had ammo, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so is it still the same way?
Yeah, it's the same way.
But I think the change was assault and medic were different things in 5, right?
The change they made from like 4 to 1 and 5 is they got rid of the engineer class and kind of split them into the assault and medic class. So like now the assault is the anti-vehicle guy. And the medic
basically,
class.
Assault is assault rifles and anti-vehicle. Yeah.
Where like in 4, it was like
there was a whole other class for that.
Yeah, assault was basically like a medic class when you think about it. Like in 4, because they had the assault rifles, the defibs, the med packs, and stuff, and then the engineer was like the anti-vehicle thing, who could also like repair teammates' vehicles and whatever. To keep going on the Battlefield 5 thing. It's been a while since I've like gotten back into it. Like me and Cabe
played. They just added some new stuff.
Yeah, that's why me and Cabe are playing again. But it's fallen into this like meta thing that I'm not really a fan of. Of like,
oh, this is why you messaged me on stream the other day.
Yeah. Asking you about them weapons.
Mm-hmm.
Because every now and then they do these like seasonal chapter reward things, where like you complete a certain amount of objectives during this season, you unlock this gun or whatever, and they've had so many at this point that there's like a lot more guns than they, started out with. But because of that, everybody's kind of like...
That was one thing that made me very hesitant about Battlefield 5. Sorry to cut you off. I don't want you to lose your train of thought. But Battlefield 1 had that problem where when you move from 4 to 1, I felt like we lost a lot of guns. We lost a lot of customization.
Mm-hmm.
But Battlefield seems to be adding them in Battlefield 5, seems to be adding them in with free updates and stuff. So
yeah, that's.
But what you're telling me and what you said the other day is a lot of them at first are locked behind these grindy.
Just the level up system alone, and they've got the guns locked behind that. But then as they started dropping, like, they call them the Tides of War.
There you go. It's locked behind the Tides of War stuff, yeah.
Yeah. And they've kind of just been sprinkling them throughout, like, since the game's release. Well, since they've had so many now, there's so many different... Since there's so many guns to choose from, everybody always kind of just gravitates towards the best one for each class. So now, like, whether you're assault, medic, support, or recon, the only thing you get killed by is the same gun over and over again. Because once you have so many, like, weapons... Not just like in
Are they universal weapons, kind of like how 4 did it, or
no,
they're class specific?
Yeah, they're class specific.
That's ish.
So like if you get killed by an assault, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be the M2 carbine. Like just to give you an example, you get killed by a medic, 9 times out of 10, it's going to be
F2000. Sorry, I'm thinking of 4. Sorry.
That's a good comparison to it actually. Just a fucking fast fire rate gun.
Hell yeah, that was my fucking shit.
That was a cool one. That was a cool one. I like the AEK. That's my go-to assault thing. But you know what I mean? Like, every class has basically got, like, its own, like, meta weapon right now. So...
As games do.
Yeah, even though there's, like, more variety, quote-unquote, people just gravitate towards what works best. You know what I mean? Which I feel like it wasn't that bad in Battlefield 4. You could kind of use whatever you wanted to in Battlefield 4.
Battlefield 4 is DLC. Well, see, this is the thing. Everything with 5 is a free update. Mm-hmm. There's no like paid stuff. I don't think, right?
Not that
you might can like buy the packs to get cosmetic items, but every fucking game ever now has those. But in 4, the content was locked behind a paywall, and you could get certain items by completing certain objectives in certain maps. As shitty as that sounds coming out of my mouth, it wasn't that bad. Remember, the crossbow was locked behind that one map that was like DLC 3. Remember the crossbow, but it was a phantom bow.
Yeah,
and you could only get it by doing something weird. But then they added another map where if you went and kicked up in this crate in one map, you unlock it. And then I remember a bunch of people pissed off about that shit.
There was a Battlefield Friends episode about that.
Really? Where like you earned it, or else you just went and kicked the box?
Yeah, like there was I think it was. Yeah, on that map you're talking about, all you had to do was just find the crate and pick it up, and
then it unlocks in your inventory. Yeah.
Yeah, they had a whole episode about it where like two.
I got this bow. Isn't it awesome?
2 of the characters were like running around using it, and like some of the other side characters were like, "Hey, did you earn that? You didn't earn that. You don't have the right to use that." As they do.
Yeah.
I wish they'd do some more stuff with that series, but
no, they're hell-bent and stuck on their Let's Plays of those big crafty survival games.
I mean, you can't blame them because animation takes forever. Plus, that was when they were contracted under
Machinima.
Machinima. There you go.
At least a lot of their videos are still up. When Machinima fell, a lot of Machinima's shit just tanked, got deleted. Yeah.
But it's hard to be an animator on YouTube because the time you put into making one video, you could have
someone's made a fucking...
Yeah, somebody's made 20 of them of a Let's Play.
A life hack of a fucking fork and a knife and a tablespoon.
Right, or a Mr. Beast video or some shit like that.
Mr. Beast.
Still not a fan of that trend, dude. It just seems so dumb to me.
It is dumb, but man, I've been following this DNP 3. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do it. I mean, I feel shitty as a person to do it, but damn it, man, when someone's handing out cash and you just have a free way to earn it, like, why would you not?
I mean, that's not bad that way to do it like that, where it's like...
He's really generous. I mean, he's not doing the Mr. Beast thing. I don't think he's on the Mr. Beast level.
Yeah, no, see, that's the only thing I have a problem with.
Mr. Beast is doing, like, fucking Hunger Games ass shit.
Yeah, exactly. I seen one of them was on my recommended the other day where it was like, Lamborghini race, 4 people race Lamborghinis and the winner gets to keep their Lamborghini. And it's like, dog, that's like almost like instigating crash level shit. You know what I mean? Like, go around this track in a car that can go from 0 to 60 in a second. And you're like, these are just like regular ass people driving a Lamborghini for the first time. Like, you reckon that thing, you might be losing a life. Like, damn. So, I don't know.
Yeah, but I get it.
I know he's got good intent, but the way he's going around it is like some pinky in the brain, like Saw levels of shit. Where
it is some of it, yeah. Yeah, like that, what you just said. That's pretty fucked up. And even some of the lighter ones are still just like so incentive based that it's cruel. Like that one, like what's the one I think me and you watched, or maybe where they had to stand on a wire.
Oh,
they had to stand on a rope, And the last one to leave the rope won $1 million. And, like, they kept cutting the rope. It was, like, thick rope. Mm-hmm. And they just kept cutting it and cutting it and cutting it. And not only were they losing, like, their foothold, they were like, he was like, all right, the first person to drop down gets $10,000. Here's a MacBook Pro. Here's an iPad and every game console ever. And he pushes it out there.
Yeah, we just put it on like a pedestal. Like, don't you want that? Go ahead and fall.
And then one person would just dip and they just fall into the pool. And then the next guy would get $20,000. And it's like, motherfucker. And they kept those people up there for like 3 days. Dude,
that's like
they stood on a fucking rope for 3 days just to win $1 million.
Me and Wyatt watched one where it was they just had a giant like cube of cash. It was
they had to leave it
was $1 million, and they had to leave their hand on it.
And that one dude, poor guy.
They literally sat there. I believe it was like 3.5 days, 4 days, or something like that, just standing in one place, like had to stay awake and everything with their hand on it. And, like, you know, of course they edited it down to where it's, like, you know, the highlights and everything. But can you just imagine standing in one place for, like, 4 days? I know it's for $1 million, but goddamn, that's, like, torture at that point.
It is, but, like, dude, it would change your entire life.
Yeah, I guess so, but, like, I don't know how they did use the bathroom. At one point, they started getting hungry, and they were like, well, what are we going to feed them? And they just whipped up, like, some mac and cheese Doritos.
Oh, no, they
like,
went to their house.
Shit. Yeah.
They're like, we're going to make food out of whatever's at your house.
Yeah, one dude made, like, janky mac and cheese.
One dude was like, dude, I have, like, Hello Foods or whatever the fuck it is at my house. Go home and make me this. And one dude went to his house and was like, I don't have shit. So they made him, like, goldfish and a ham sandwich. Yeah. And it was like, damn. One dude got delicious-ass food.
I mean, it's like...
And then the one dude lost because he, like, stretched or, like, got excited.
Yeah,
he had his hand on there, and they were talking, and he went to move his hand with a talking gesture, and they didn't catch it. And then, like, when they went to review footage, like, hours later, they were like, hey, you moved your hand when we were doing that talking thing. He was like, no, I didn't. He was like, oh, here's the footage. And it was like, oh, well, whatever. And so he had to fucking... That sucks. You know?
It does suck, but at least he doesn't leave empty-handed.
Imagine someone talking to you about $1 million, and you got to keep your hand down. I'd be so fucking excited. I move my hands right now. Nobody can even see me.
Bro, me and Wyatt said that, dude. Like, you put $1 million in, like, a cube pallet in front of me. I'm bringing duct tape. I'm bringing Loctite. I'm bringing everything I can to make sure that hand is...
Yeah.
It's there.
I'm sure that wasn't legal in his little game.
Well, whatever, you know. You get my point.
Yeah.
It just... It's cool and all. I know he's got good intentions at heart, but, God, it's just the wrong way to go about it, I think.
Could be worse.
It could be like heartfelt and uplifting and everything. Like, oh, we give $1 million to a stranger, but instead it's like, we give $1 million to whoever get kicked in the nuts the most and not flinch.
Well, he's got to get the views in order to get the money back.
I suppose.
Yeah.
Does that say anything about the times we live in?
Yeah.
A little bit?
Yeah. Every bit of what we need to know.
Well, that was my week that spiraled off into a tangent. How was your week, Doug?
My week has been rocky. Let's see, where do I start? You know, we've got a lot of storms in the area, right?
Yes.
That started about last week. Pretty much rained fucking like a nightmare.
Yeah, none of which have been snowstorms.
Yeah, it's like springtime.
In February.
Yeah. So basically, I went through this whole hurdle of what I thought was going to be losing power to the storms. But I didn't lose power to the fucking storms. We actually lost...
water.
We lost water to our washing machine. Our pump went out. Sprayed water all over the goddamn floor. Water went through the floor and hit some wires. So we busted a breaker.
Yep.
So that happened. So that fucked up, like... I've been streaming a lot. You guys probably know that. That fucked up, like, my whole regiment, man. And that was kind of a whole debacle. But I just wanted to put that out there because that fucking sucked. Yeah, I sat here and stared at the goddamn ceiling for so fucking long. And, anyway. My week has consisted of Dead by Daylight. Goddamn, how have I fallen for some isometric multiplayer game so hard? It's a love-hate relationship.
Love to hate it.
Yeah. One day I play, it's fan-fucking-tastic. The next match, I fucking hate it. And, you know, I just rinse repeats. I think you were half of the deciding factor on this. I was just playing along. You know, just playing the game on stream. And then you were like, dog, play Ghostface. And I'm like, I would if I could afford him. And then, you know, fast forward, I got some PayPal donations sent, and I unlocked him. That unlocked like a whole level in my head
It's a
of
whole
like,
new world.
yeah, of how this game's gonna play. Fuck the basic free characters. The game really starts when you start buying the characters, because then paid characters are way, to me, they get a lot more fun and variety in there than your basics. So I started off with Ghostface, and I was still a noob at the game. Still kind of am. Don't know how to really break it down to viewers that's never seen the game, but he plays just like I would imagine a stalking serial killer would. Yeah. He's got the stalk mechanic that you lock onto a character. You have to stare at him for a good minute, but then it gives you that one-hit kill. Mm-hmm. Yeah, one hit down.
It's like a more stealthy approach as opposed to like...
Yeah, instead of menacing,
right?
You need to be in the shadows.
They do a pretty cool job of that. Like with the movie-based characters they have in the game, I feel like they capture like the mechanics of those characters like better than most games would. Because have you seen like the Michael Myers character at all? Have you checked him out?
I haven't played him, but no, actually I haven't seen any of them. Yeah,
his whole shtick is kind of like Ghostface, but flipped on its head, where you want to stalk people, but instead of like downing them outright, you want to like injure them and then save them for later.
I've heard, or I've read, because I've been in the Reddits of the Dead by Daylight, that some of his best perks take forever to actually like max out. You know, certain abilities you literally have to just like stalk and stare at your prey for the longest amount of time. But apparently Michael Myers has like a thing, once maxed out, he can insta-kill. Like just straight up insta-kill. Mm-hmm. Don't have to be injured, don't have to be down. Can just grab him and fucking kill him.
I believe that's one of the perks he's got going for him, because his like, whatever you call it, ability, his right mouse click or mouse button two or whatever, is like similar to Ghostface's, where he just kind of stalks. But instead of like marking somebody and then insta-downing them like Ghostface does, he marks somebody and they become like an obsession. And then whenever you're like within whoever that obsession marked character is, like you perform actions faster, and like you vault over like barriers and stuff faster, you can destroy things faster, stuff like that. So it's like similar to Ghostface, but with like a little bit more of a spice added on there or whatever, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it does. That like I said, that literally started like a whole fucking thing in my game. I've been just buying the fuck out of characters now. I haven't got them all, which kind of sucks because I feel like I'm above what the actual price of the fucking game is at this point. I've definitely spent over $20, which is what the game is, you know, worth. I'm playing on Game Pass, so I got it for my subscription model. So far, I think the new character, which I believe is Oni, and the only reason I believe that is because he has the opening cinematic still. Mm-hmm. So, but I think he's going to become my new favorite. I love his ability to absorb the blood. I think that's very metal. You know, you cut them. You got to cut them first, and then get their life force, man. And then you become
go on a rampage.
Yeah, you become. I like to when I'm streaming. I like KO gun. Yeah.
Essentially, what he does.
Yeah, he rages out and gets a big stick, and nothing says brutality like instead of fucking somebody up with a sword, just beating the shit out of them with a stick. You know, fuck the sword. Just give me a stick. Anyway, with the sword, one hit down breaks pallets. Mm-hmm. Amazing. He might be slower, he might be loud, but with that ability...
Just raw power.
Yeah, he charges too. So, like, as long as you get that build up, if someone's, like, already, like, a couple steps ahead of you, he takes a couple good leaps before he slams. So, you can outrun me. Yeah, but if I time it and I properly pull off that shit, I'm going to charge at you and down you in one hit, and you can be salty about it. Good game, camping, tunneling. Can we talk about how... toxic this community is? I know you don't play, but I play a lot, and you were probably able to see some of my comments before I changed my overlays.
I've seen examples of it, like on YouTube and stuff before. Like you started playing and everything, like highlight reels and whatever. And I think it just comes down to like game length, you know, where it's like you play a game of Dead by Daylight as like a survivor, you're in for like a 20-minute
if
game.
You're good.
Yeah, game. You know,
or if you're bad, rather.
Or maybe longer, if that. So, you know, people are, I guess, just toxic that they just wasted 20, 30 minutes of, like, just, you know, trying to do something, getting thwarted, and they're just like, nah, it's not my fault.
Same thing happens to me all the time, you know. I don't always prevail as the killer, even doing the shittiest shit that people say is shitty. I hate that the game literally has moves called, like, Stalker and Obsession and perks that actually pop when you focus on one character, but that's considered tunneling and camping. Like,
well, that's justified by their answer. You're playing the game it's meant to be, the way it's meant to be played.
Yeah, like, I'm focused on you, that way Bloodlust will pop, and that way the rest of my mechanics actually level, and I can actually... You know, my perks level up for me doing what I'm fucking doing, and you're going to call me out at the end of the match. Good job. Good job camping and tunneling.
Way to tunnel must be hard, man. Oh.
I was like, yeah, I don't know. Talk to the devs, man. My obsession was you, and I chased you down until my shit popped, and then
I don't know.
I got the clear.
It's 1v4.
Yeah. All 4 of you are salty. But, yeah, not to dive too much, because that's basically my whole fucking week is streaming a lot of Dead by Daylight. Really hard in that stream game, man. Cannot stress enough the community I'm in. I'm actually in another community. We're trying to get everything started. I've been very supportive in both of them. Content Creators Union on Twitter. They're helping me out a lot. I got shouts out from them twice this week. And all I really do is, like, I hate it, but I lurk because I'm at work. And I'm not trying to...
Lurk at work.
Yeah. I'm just giving them their views, man. You know, everyone wants to hit that affiliate status, so I'm trying, and I try to get in the chat and talk as much as I can while I'm at work, but it's rough. But shout out to the Content Creators Union. Shout out to the Brutu Horde, man. Brutu Horde has a whole thing going on. Every week they have a champion of the week, which is randomly voted upon in the Discord. Last week was Dark Eyed Girl. You know, that's basically incentive for everybody in the community to go kind of lurk and chill in her Discord, her stream while she's playing, you know, try to help get her view count up and all that good jazz. This week is Bird Brain. I think it's Bird Brain in Discord, but it's Bird Brian on Twitter and Twitch. So I don't know, man. I'm trying my hardest to be there for all of them. I dropped into Bird Brian's thing today and hung out, doing some biddies for the titties, as I like to call it, you know.
Nice.
Yeah.
Also this week, Roger and Kim are having a kid.
Yeah, shout out to you, Pyre Sama, rather, and Moo Ninja. Thanks for that. You guys are fantastic. You'll never hear this, probably. I'll drop this in the Discord. You guys will maybe timestamp it. 42 minutes in, not even at the news. We got this. Yeah, that's been my week. Catch me streaming, dude. I'm fucking really on it this time, man.
What kind of kid names can we expect? You got a boy's name planned?
We're gonna do Claudio Kilgannon and or I don't know.
Is that facts?
No.
If it's a boy, Claudio?
I don't know. I think it'd be cringy to name a kid after a Coheed thing.
You gotta be more productive than this, dog, man. Come on, now.
Yeah, I try. Anyway, 42 fucking minutes in, we haven't got any goddamn news. We are terrible. Anyway, let's dive into this shit.
No, we're not. We're people.
We are people. The people's people. We talk about games.
Paper is terrible.
Ah, nice.
Yeah, I try.
Anyway, let's go on down to the news.
Just gonna brush past the kid thing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
My girlfriend doesn't listen to this, so I shouldn't have to hear too much about this.
All right.
That's good stuff. Anyway, this actually came across my newsfeed today. The mother-daughter VR shit is the way I have this labeled, but it's actually a little more heartfelt than that. Actually, a lot more heartfelt. A mother who lost her daughter, I think in 2017, to a, quote, unknown virus, got her daughter programmed into a VR simulation, and these developers have allowed her to don a headset and experience what looked like a final, like, saying goodbye scenario, because I watched it today, and at the end it kind of seemed like a heartfelt send-off to what would be a real-life human being.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason I put this in here is because it's VR, and that's gaming related, and technology, just everything, man. This is something that I think a lot of gamers look forward to in the future, VR being this immersive.
I think we're getting there.
But I think this is beyond the realm of,
the threshold of comprehending a little bit.
Yeah, I think this is too much.
Yeah, if you would have told somebody like in 1990, hey, in the future, you're going to be able to wear a headset that lets you see your dead son or daughter they'd have been like, "Bro, you crazy."
Yeah, so
Like,
basically this mother was like just sobbing, putting this headset on, and they modeled this kid to her likeness, to her daughter's likeness, and I think they took voice clips from her and tried to match them.
wild.
Yeah. And, you know, she's in like a big-ass green screen room, you know, so the VR and everything will pick up for the cameras and stuff. But they also had like a kid, roughly the size of the kid in the VR game.
Mm-hmm.
So one scene that stuck out to me was when she reached down, the kid in the game, her daughter, tried to hand her a flower that she picked from a virtual field. Someone in the studio, a little girl, had a flower. And you know, she had the headset on and handed it to her hands while she was, you know what I mean? So not
she
only
actually had,
she reached out to grab it in the game, had it, but
in her hand, she actually
had a flower. And this mother's just crying her eyes out. And I don't know if this is a good or bad thing. In my head and everything about like just the human body and mind tells me this is not good. It's just not.
Yeah, I'm still kind of on the fence about it because like when you showed it to me, first thing that came to my mind was like Minority Report or something where it's like, why deal with the real world when you can just like hop in VR and just have like nothing but past memories available and stuff, like all the good times, you know what I mean? Like get that dopamine, endorphin kicking off, you know what I mean? Like, so I don't know if it's a step in the right direction, the wrong direction, but VR's getting crazy.
I think for certain like mentalities, maybe people that can't quite cope in like the right grieving process, does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it can help, but I don't think this is something that every person should have widespread availability to. I think that people being gone need to be gone, and maybe this lady didn't have the right amount of time to say goodbye to her daughter. Maybe this was good for her, but I don't know. This was rough to watch. At the ending, she put her daughter to bed for what seemed like the final time.
That seemed rough.
And she turned into a butterfly, and the entire room around her dissipated into a sunny day, trees and butterflies, and this little like sparkly just white butterfly floated around, and the real world camera snapped back, and it's like this lady with a VR headset on crying,
just
trying to grab this virtual butterfly. And it's just like, I was at work and I had tears in my eyes, and they're like, "Are you okay, man?" And I'm like, "This shit is rough. This is what technology, this is." And I don't want to say games have propelled VR to where it is, but I do believe games have propelled VR to where it is. I could be wrong, but without us banging the drum of like wanting games to be as real and as interactive as possible, here we are.
Yeah, I know we've said it on the podcast before, but like, I still think VR is like kind of in its baby steps. Maybe not baby steps, but more like,
yeah, we get there. We had toddler phase.
Yeah, we're getting
shit like this.
We're definitely getting there. So I don't think we're too far off. Maybe a few years away before like AAA developers start making shit for VR, and you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I thought of what's that fucking show? Black Mirror.
Yeah.
There's an episode where her boyfriend or husband dies, and she literally downloads her entire husband's like Facebook into this robot that she orders, and she gets it, and it's just terrible for her because she understands that it's not real, but she wants it there because she misses him, and that's kind of the same thing. You know, she understands that this daughter's not there, but what else is she? This is the only way for her.
It's the only way that she can get by. It's the only
yeah. So, and then that episode ended with her telling the robot to kill itself. So she had to ultimately watch her boyfriend die twice. You know, it was good old Black Mirror.
Gotta love it. No happy endings in the Black Mirror world.
Scared of some of them episodes.
Some of those episodes are rough to watch.
Some of them are scary. Not really like scary, but just like, God damn it, man.
They've got a couple good ones that are like, you know, most of the shit is just like hypothetical scenarios and stuff, but like, some of them are like real shit that could actually like go down. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there was one, I don't remember the name of the episode, but basically like, this little teenage kid, hopped on his computer to jack off to some porn, but it was some questionable material, if you know what I mean. And like basically some hackers like hacked into his screen cap thing and used it to blackmail him. And they did that to like a whole bunch of different other people. So they basically like
had a whole bunch of people under their thumb.
They had a whole bunch of people like saying, do this or we'll leak this to everybody you know, your contacts, your stuff. So like this kid had to go around. He had to team up with this other guy that they were blackmailing to like rob a bank, and then they took the money to meet up with some other guy, give him the money to get a gun, and then they took it just kept going and going, and there was no happy ending because like
it's Black Mirror.
Yeah, it's Black Mirror, and at the end they just like they leaked everybody's shit anyway. They were using to blackmail them, so it's just like,
I mean,
that could probably actually
someone
happen.
grabs my porn info, man. It is what it is. I think at this point, man, everyone knows that. I don't want to speak for every 26-year-old male out there, but porn gets stale, man. You go out there, you find.
You gotta mix it up a little bit.
You find what you like. Don't mean you have to like it in real life, but you know, you find what makes you happy in that moment, and then you delete your search history and you go about your day the next day, and no one ever fucking knows about it except for you. And that's all that really matters. So I don't know. I'd be fine with it instead of robbing a fucking bank.
Maybe I just don't have enough confidence in myself, but anybody can take a look at my search history. Got a thing for the black women, so
nothing wrong with that.
Take that for what you want.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. Anyway, let's see. Moving on down the list. It seems like Nintendo's got a direct for tomorrow, actually. Did I write down the times? Apparently fucking not.
That's alright. You can catch them on the next one, because they have them, like, what, every 2 months or so?
It is something like that. This is supposed to be focused around Animal Crossing. So this will be all good news for me. So,
turning over a new leaf.
Yeah. Normally their times are 9 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, because that's like every fucking direct ever.
9 a.m.?
Yeah.
What a weird time to have it.
Well, I mean, in Japan.
Oh, it's probably prime time for them.
Yeah. So, I don't know their time
Fair
conversion.
enough.
Yeah.
14 hours, I believe.
So, would that make about...
For them, it would, be about prime time, I guess.
Yeah. I'm excited. Anything new about Animal Crossing? Other than, did you see that new... You don't care about Animal Crossing.
I don't care about it.
Fuck. They made a new Switch model.
When I think about Animal Crossing, I think about, like...
That one time where I played it at New Year's?
That, and, like, to me, it's always funny, you ever see, like, those people crossing signs? Where they have the walls? I always like to think, like, just random animals. Animals are crossing. Stop traffic.
But,
did you see that video of the wolf and the badger being friends?
No, but did you see?
What?
Did you see that video of Jamie pulling shit up? Literally, it's a video
of just Joe saying, "Jamie, pull that shit up."
No, it's like they interviewed Jamie, and he's like, "Yo, what's up? My name's Jamie, and I pull shit up." And like he like shows his like thing. He's like, "Yeah, this is my studio. This is where I pull stuff up." And he's like, "This is my doorway." And he has like a fucking pull-up bar. He's like, "This is my pull-up bar." And this is where sometimes
I pull shit up.
I gotta pull up. I've always been pulling up. I've been pulling up.
So he just made it into a
yes, yes. I don't know if it's old or new, but I seen it the other day. My name's Jamie. This is where I pull shit up. Jamie, pull that shit up. Yeah, it's fun. Yeah, I'm always down for Animal Crossing stuff. Can't wait.
What is that guy's credentials to be able to...
Well, he had a pull-up bar in his...
Wow, what a guy.
He was able to pull it up.
He just met Joe one day and was like, "Bro, if you need somebody to pull shit up, I got you."
I can pull it up.
Yeah.
But like I said, I'm always down for more Animal Crossing. I know we don't have but like a month, so... Don't know why they want to tell us all now. It'll
probably get delayed.
No, it can't. It can't at this point. We're too close.
Doesn't matter.
Has anything been delayed? No, it's got to be gold by now.
Maybe.
Anyway.
Who says they can't delay gold?
Catch a new Nintendo Direct tomorrow. By the time you're hearing this will be old news, so that sucks. But, fuck. Anyway, moving on down the list. You brought this to my attention.
This was a random last-minute Google search for me to bring news to the table, because I always feel bad for not bringing news.
It's okay.
Apparently, there's some really weird maintenance times going on in the Rockstar universe for every game, or the big ones, rather.
For their online service.
Yeah, their online stuff. GTA 5 and Red Dead Redemption 2 Online are getting like some weird out of place maintenance times, and it's shutting both the games down as well as the social club, which is like Rockstar's
weird forum thing.
Yeah, weird forum, like browser thing, whatever the fuck you want to call it. And so immediately the fans were like, bro, we're getting some GTA 6 news. We're getting a trailer. We're getting something. And at first I thought it was like, speculation, whatever, rumors, just chomping at the bit. But one of the articles we read on CCN,
yeah, that's still what kind of throws me off. I've never heard of it.
So some random.
So these are rumors. This is basically a rumor we're throwing to the table.
Is just 99% rumors at this point.
Last minute rumors. Heard it here first.
Yeah,
folks.
heard it here first. But apparently some people looked at the Rockstar YouTube information and seen that they had some private videos ready and waiting. Basically.
And we tried to find them, but I don't know how you find private videos.
Yeah, I don't know how you find private videos either, but I guess some people, maybe they data mined it, or...
They do what the internet does best, which is find shit out that people nobody wants.
Yep, decrypt code and shit. But apparently, still rumor-based, Rockstar's YouTube page has some unlisted private videos that are not viewable yet. So, everybody just jumped to conclusions and said, it's GTA 6 news, GTA 6.
Is this tomorrow?
Apparently.
So, damn, we're getting a Nintendo Direct tomorrow and maybe some Rockstar news. Actually, maybe. I'd be more excited about the Rockstar news. I don't need to know any more about...
Me, personally, I'd be more excited for the Rockstar.
I don't need to know anything more about Animal Crossing. I mean, you slap Animal Crossing on a goddamn brick in the yard, and I'm probably going to go buy it. I don't know. Yeah. It's just who I am. Follow the trends. No, that's terrible. I don't mean that. Anyway, yes, that was pretty much it for the Rockstar thing. It was just a rumor mill thing.
Rumors. It's just rumors.
Because we looked at a couple of different sources, and that CCN was the only news outlet, if you want to call it that had that on.
Yeah. There. So I don't know if that says anything. It was a .com website, so definitely not source worthy.
But if it does happen, guess what?
You heard it here first.
Yeah, this shit will be uploaded before that shit goes live. Bam. Done. Shit. Where's our Emmy?
Big ups to CC and...
Damn, I wanted to get done with that shit.
Hang on a sec. I got a meme to show you.
Okay, well, I'm gonna start this. This apparently came out a little earlier in 2019.
Read it out loud.
And the Grammy goes to Lo-Fi, Hip-Hop, Anime, Chill Beats to Study and Relax to.
You said Grammy.
What did I say? Oh, okay, yeah, so I said it right. Okay, yeah. Anyway, this game apparently came out in earlier of 2019. Sorry, Cuff's still showing me memes. doing the Cape thing. Still doing it. Yep, there we go.
Did you get that one?
Yeah.
All right.
Focus.
Memes.
Memes.
We should have a meme dedicated
segment.
Yeah.
People send in memes. We react to them.
Maybe that.
That seems cool.
Or like,
I like to get the viewers involved.
They could send us meme. We can review them.
I don't want to review them, but we can laugh to them and tell them if we approve or disapprove.
Yeah, and we can slap them up on the video. You know.
Oh yeah. Anything that costs more, random editing time that I'm not really a fan of. Resident Evil 2 came out at the early beginnings of 2019, correct?
Yes.
Yep. Way before that, apparently an indie development team was working on what was going to be a fan-made remake of Resident Evil 2. Well,
Big Dick Capcom stepped in and said, hold up, wait a minute, we're going to do that instead.
Yep, so Capcom took over and told them to cease and desist. So instead of trashing all their assets, they actually put them into a whole entirely different Resident Evil-inspired game called Daymare 1997. Well, I just read about this last week. Apparently it's been out on Steam. Of course, everything comes out on PC first. But the reason it came up in my news is because it has a definitive release date in April for consoles. So we watched a little bit of gameplay about that, and I'm a huge Resident Evil fan, and I know you like the remakes. You said you're not an old school, but this is definitely more akin to the...
Well, you can definitely see where they drew inspiration from, because it looked just like one of the remakes, aside from like some user interface kind of things. The voice acting was a little subpar from what we heard, but it's definitely there. Same camera angle, same kind of gameplay.
Yeah, it has that 4, 5, 6 camera angle.
Yeah,
if you will, over the shoulder. Yeah. You got the survival horror aspects.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought it was worth noting because, like, I was very surprised. How the fuck do we not know about shit like this?
I have no idea.
Well, probably because back when this started, we didn't do this.
We didn't know that. Yeah,
we didn't do the news thing. So now when we scour the internet, we find things that
are newsworthy.
Yeah, that we weren't looking for.
We bring them to light.
Yeah, that we wasn't actually looking for. So, if you give a shit, go check that out on YouTube. Like I said, it's been out on Steam for a while. So they have probably full Let's Plays of that, but it's coming to consoles in April. Looks purely fucking Resident Evil, so that's good. That's good for people like us that can't wait for Resident Evil 3 to launch sometime this year.
Very hyped for it.
Hell yeah. Scoot down the list as we go.
In other news, coming out soon, Roger and Kim's baby shower is.
I thought he was going to take the reins and try to read some news off.
Nope, I'm here for the memes and the jokes.
Damn.
From time of inception to 9 months, I guess we can expect the baby probably November, December of this year. So the baby shower will be coming then. Get your invites here first.
Thanks, buddy.
Still don't have names.
Really driving that home. Thanks, Pierre-sama. Pyre-sama. Pi-sama? I don't know how to fucking...
Pyre-sama?
Pyre-sama, something like that, yeah.
And Mumu Ninja.
For
raising a beautiful child. And fuck them haters that fucked with your stream the other day.
Yeah, that did happen.
Yeah.
We tried to get in there.
Rise above the hate. Yeah, we tried to get in there, but...
she had it locked for...
yeah, she had it locked to, as, like, I guess, defensive countermeasures, which is understandable.
It was like subs only.
Or, like, followers only or something.
I was a follower.
Yeah, but it was like... Oh, I tried to type in something in the chat, and it was like, nah, you have to be, like, a month.
Oh, monthly. Yeah, it was a month follower. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, so... Rise above that shit. There's always going to be toxic people out there for every good, hard-working, like, Twitch affiliate networking
I'm waiting
person.
on mine.
On your toxic people?
Yeah.
They'll be there. They'll be there.
They'll be there, man.
Just wait.
Calamity. I was afraid that that's what he was going to be, because he lingers. But like I said, he seems like a chill dude. I checked out his stream today, and
good taste in music.
Yeah, you'll be killing that song request stuff. But yeah, I do sweat the arrival of the toxics. Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to react to it. I think I don't give a shit, but when you're on camera and trying not to give a shit is like me sweating about sweating. You know what I mean?
It's different from...
Yeah, like, I really don't give a shit, but, like, I don't want them to see me physically agitated.
Right.
And then once that happens, I'm gonna, it'll be its whole other thing. But, it comes with the territory. Come at me, bro. Fuck the internet. Anyway, love you guys. On down the news. Blizzard is the way I have this, because they're one and the same. Activision/Blizzard is planning for several more, quote, remasters and reimagined experiences. I guess after the whole Spyro thing.
Yep.
They're looking to go down their list of... Activision has to own a lot of early PlayStation titles. At least...
Did they do They did the Tony Hawk games, right?
They did some of the early ones, yeah.
The Tony Hawk's Pro Skater remastered?
Well, there's already actually talks about a new remaster for Tony Hawk.
Like, so that's the OG ones?
Yeah.
Superman?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And apparently Tony Hawk's speculation working with him on it, so that's its whole other thing. So I can tell you right off the head, like, what the fuck Activision did back in the day that they would be working on right now.
Probably a lot of shit. Because
like, honestly,
all I know for is Call of Duty.
They acquired Spyro after... It took a while for them to acquire Spyro. They didn't just have it, I don't think. Insomniac made the Spyro games.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. That was an Insomniac Games thing. And then as it moved to the PS2 era, and then once the Games to Life thing started happening, when it came to the Spyro Skylander things, I think that's when Activision started getting their foothold towards the Spyro brand. I could be wrong. It might have been.
There's money to be made here.
Yeah, it might have been earlier because I know there were some PS2 games that wasn't received too well by OG Spyro fans. So they might have had their hands in that. But I guess we can look forward to another big company rehashing old ideas, but polishing them up. You know?
Which seems to be working well, apparently.
Well, like you said, Blizzard just shit out
Warcraft, what was it, Warcraft 3?
Warcraft 3, and people didn't like the way they did that, so...
No, well, that's an online-based game.
No, that was not, is it?
Warcraft
it has a story mode.
I thought it was... does it not have, like, multiplayer aspects?
It probably does.
I don't know. Regardless, hopefully, they deal with it better than that.
Yeah.
So.
But it's scary. Activision and Blizzard have not been too kind to the consumer market. Let's say that, right?
Yeah.
So it's shaky to see them get the money signs in the eyes, the dollar signs, and just start targeting. Oh shit! Nostalgia sells. Let's go.
But still, we got plenty of titles, baby. Maybe that's what the THQ Nordic team are doing. They're just like,
oh, dude, they're smart as fuck, and I think they're taking their time and they're gonna do this shit right.
They're gonna
because they're not like bought out. I mean, I know they're a big company and they were able to buy a bunch of stuff, but they're not just shitting out titles every goddamn week.
They're sitting back and they're like, 5 years from now,
we're gonna
drop so many goddamn remakes, you ain't even gonna believe.
People could be in their mid-30s and be like, dude, I didn't even know I wanted to play Battle for Bikini Bottom again. And that's going to happen later this year.
Word, bet.
Fucking A. This is a weird one. The Outer Worlds for the Switch has been delayed. I don't understand how it's being delayed, because it's not on a physical cartridge. So that baffles me, once again. But let me finish the statement here. The Outer Worlds has been delayed due to the coronavirus. I guess manufacturing for, the plastic or the cases or anything is happening in China. Or at least...
Go figure.
Yeah, I think it's not the main developers. You know how ports get handled? They're never, main studios that handle ports. They normally hand them off to someone else.
Right. To redo
to do all that stuff. So, Switch owners are going to have to wait a little longer for the Outer Worlds. You enjoyed the fuck out of the Outer Worlds.
I did enjoy it. Really cool-ass narrative. Doesn't affect me, because I don't have a Switch, as you guys probably know, but...
I don't see how it's going to affect the digital sales. Like, what? Why is this delaying the whole thing? You know what I mean?
I don't know. Coronavirus, as it turns out, not as bad as everybody's making it out to be.
I don't know, man. People are still losing their fucking heads.
Okay. Let's debunk that.
What'd you say in your rap lyrics years ago? Persistent paranoia?
Oh, pessimistic paranoia?
There you go. Yeah. And it's causing a ruckus.
Unjustly so. This is a media.
All right, Tom Brokaw. Here we go.
No. I did some research on the coronavirus the other day. I spent about maybe 6 or so hours doing a bit of research onto it to see if it was merited. Turns out it is not. About to lay down some facts, Ben Shapiro style. So, as everybody knows, the coronavirus originated...
You're doing your more rapid fire, Ben Shapiro.
Yeah. So, the coronavirus, which I'm sure everybody has heard of by this point, originated in China, spread like wildfire, and since then has had a few outbreaks in other countries. And, of course, as usual, media jumped all over it, saying... It's a worldwide crisis. It's an epidemic. It's a pandemic. The World Health Organization is claiming blah this.
Who?
The World Health... Yeah.
I see it there. Yeah.
That
Who?
was nice.
Yeah. World Health Organization is who?
This is all just conjecture. If you look at the numbers behind it, actually not as bad.
It's funny. Someone at work brought up the numbers today, and they made it sound like it was a fuck ton. They were like, I'm just going to spitball a fucking number. But it wasn't impressive at all. Because they were like, there's 87,000 cases of the coronavirus out there. And I'm like, is that in China? They're like, no, that's worldwide. And I'm like, dog, do you know the population at this point?
Yeah, that's nothing.
That's a fly on the wall of the Coliseum.
No.
Like, that is...
To give you an idea, when I was doing my research on it, which I believe was like Saturday... So 4 or 5 days ago, The number of cases was like 47,000. The number of deaths was like 10,000. The number of cases outside of China was like 20. Number of deaths outside of China, 0. To put that in comparison, last year, 2019, there were over 1.5 million cases of influenza, shit that's treatable, flu virus, flu shots, and like a fifth of those resulted in deaths. So, the coronavirus thing, overhyped. Don't panic about it. It's not a 28 days later scenario type deal.
It's funny. This post's been going around Facebook, and it's funny when shit like Facebook hits people that don't understand memes. Mm-hmm. It's, oh man, all your stuff comes from China. Don't pop those air bubbles from your plastic things. That air's from China. And they were talking about that at work today, but I felt like it was like a serious light. They were like, oh man, yeah. What if so the air in these little air shipping packets, is that from China? And they kept talking about it, and I was like, a virus needs a host, right? Like, viruses don't last, like, a couple of hours outside of a host. Like, most 24 hours. And if you're shipping something from China, normally it takes a couple of days. So, if someone with the coronavirus coughed into your air packet before it was sealed for shipping,
I think you'll be alright.
I think the virus itself will die without anything to hold on to.
Not only that, but I watched a video of this, like, I think it was like a some kind of doctor talking about the coronavirus, and he basically explained like the mechanics behind how viruses and stuff like that work. And essentially it boils down to, like, if your immune system isn't good overall, and you live in an environment where generally immune systems aren't good overall, like in China or other like third world countries, underdeveloped countries, which China is not necessarily a third world country, but certain parts of it are, because of certain districts or whatever.
I was gonna say mass population.
That too. So basically, it was like a perfect breeding ground for this virus to outbreak. Essentially, you have a whole bunch of people who aren't good in health overall getting sick all at once. That's perfect for like a virus or something.
What the origin of this? Something with like bats?
It came from I heard that. I've also heard sick animals or something, and it mutated into a different thing. But regardless,
I find it hard to believe the bat thing, which is what a lot of people say.
Yeah, I don't.
That makes no sense.
That doesn't make sense to me either.
Because like
some bats swooped over and shit on us.
No, they were saying they ate some bat soup. They made some.
I didn't hear that. I heard bats like.
I heard
infected
soup.
foods or something.
Yeah.
So even you can't even trust like the source of it. But.
And that doesn't even make sense, because if concocted foods that random humans have made, there's fucking viruses all over the goddamn place. People make terrible, nasty dishes all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Goddamn. Watch DIY do-it-yourself food shit. Life hacks for food.
Yeah. Right.
Goddamn. There's a virus in there somewhere.
But long story short, the coronavirus might be a thing, but I don't think you personally have to worry about it. It's not that big of a deal, as it turns out. There's people buying like bunkers and shit and MREs and stuff about it.
MREs?
The military rations.
Ah.
So, don't do that.
Well, you live and you learn, man. I feel like we've lived through a bunch of pandemics.
It's just a media. It's a media thing.
I remember West Nile virus when I was a kid. I thought I was gonna die every day.
Well, yeah, I mean, this shit pops up like every now and then. Remember bird flu, Ebola virus, what was
SARS,
swine flu, SARS.
SARS was the big one. I thought SARS was gonna get us all.
I thought the bird flu was gonna get us all.
But you know what's really funny? Not to cut you off like I always fucking do. I'm sorry.
You're right.
Yeah. Damn, you made me think about it.
Okay.
A lot of these fucking diseases and everything, ever since I was a kid, I've learned, if you don't watch the fucking news, your propaganda level, and it's just none of it fucking exists to you.
Mm-hmm.
None of like half of what the fuck is supposed to be real world shit exists to you as a human being, because all of it is just overhyped fucking shit.
That's
just like I said, West Nile virus back in the day, fucking SARS, bird flu, maybe they were bad. You know, for who the fuck was affected. You know, that shit sucks.
Yeah, not
I think SARS was probably the worst one of our times because that was
undermining
fucking
them at
some shit
all.
up.
But like they did not turn out as bad as like everybody makes it out to be. Everybody always thinks just like ground zero, like patient zero levels of shit where society's gonna just stop.
But I always tell people, especially when they're like, man, the news said, I'm like, the news has like 16 hours of shit to fill a day.
Yep.
They get something like this. This is a godsend.
Not only that, they have to fill a ratings quota every month, so they're like, how do we boost ratings? Tell the world to panic about ashtrays are killing people. You know, just
metal straws. Remember metal straws about like 3 months ago?
Oh, God.
Lady fell with a metal straw in her mouth and it stabbed her. Yeah.
There's a metal straw epidemic.
All right. Let's see. I don't want to read this verbatim because I stole this from a news source, so I'm going to try to piece this together. Okay. And I don't even have the fucking text on here where I got it from, so I don't want to even try. I'm just going to say this in my own words. Final Fantasy VII got delayed.
Yep.
We talked about it last week or the week before.
Right.
Got pushed back a bit. So it's only natural. Actually, I didn't even know for the longest time that it's a PlayStation timed exclusive.
Didn't know it either.
So, well, with the pushing back of the actual release date, they actually having to push back the timed exclusivity as well.
As would be expected, I suppose.
Yeah. That'd do good. I didn't read that. And that quote that
It's alright.
I just put it for notes.
I mean, it doesn't surprise me, honestly. I also didn't know it was an exclusive, but when I heard about it, wasn't surprised. So, it sucks for everybody outside of the PlayStation group, but, you know, it'll get ported to Switch at some point.
What if someone was actually, like, betting on that? They were like, oh, shit, so they're not even going to get it till then, and then we're going to get it only 9 months instead of a year afterwards? Hell yeah. You know, and now like, no, we gotta push the exclusivity release date back to coincide with the year. And I'm like, well, fuck.
There we go. I guess I gotta buy a PlayStation 5. I mean, the new consoles will be out by then, so it's like, you know, why even hold on to your other one to play Final Fantasy VII? You know what I mean?
Yeah, it'll be on Switch. Probably.
Yeah, probably before then. So
actually, it's already available.
It'll come out.
It's already available in Dreams, which we'll get to in a minute.
Yeah. Okay.
Funny.
On the Switch, you actually have to buy like 4 separate cartridges. You know what I mean? Like
no, one download sleeve or 5 or 6 cartridges.
Like the old school PS1 version of it. It was like insert cartridge 1 and play through.
Also, we'll buy the first one for $60.
Yeah, play through Midgar for cartridge 1, and then cartridge 2 is like this part.
You know, it's still periodic. It's still episodic, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that doesn't bother me.
Still something.
I'm hyped for it. Did you see Cloud dressed as a female?
Yeah, but how the fuck is that going to work with saves?
What do you mean? How did changing discs back in the day mess with your saves? I think they got it figured out.
Yeah, but this is going to be a whole new game. It's going to be Final Fantasy VII Part 1, the game. And we're going to buy Part 2 and I guess you're going to have to absolutely have a save.
I mean, as long as you got your save data on there, yeah.
I guess you'll be okay, yeah.
Either that or you'll start out as like a base level thing for whatever reason. I didn't play Final Fantasy VII Episode 1. I hopped straight to 2. And I guess you'll start out like level 20 or
you just
something.
grind outside of Midgar, you know, fumble around with a broken down plane.
Fight Ruby Weapon like 5 times.
Oh, dude, did you see that? Did you see that? I guess, was that a reimagining of Ruby Weapon? I don't know if that was fan made. It was making the rounds the other day.
I don't know.
Never mind then. Should have slapped that on here. So yeah, there's that. A little shitty. Not too bad. It is what it is.
To be expected.
Yeah. Wait till April. We'll all be happy. If you want Final Fantasy VII, you're probably a fucking Sony fanboy anyway, so you'll have a PlayStation. My opinion. Not yours. Doesn't matter. Anyway, this last piece of news confused the shit out of me because I tried to figure it out before we started this. Because, you know, when you come over and I brief you over the news and we try to Google search stuff and I just throw it all in front of you in like a little fast...
Yeah, we have Jamie pull it up.
Yeah, but I'm Jamie and we both pull it up together. Anyway, System Shock 3, this was announced sometime earlier this week, late last week, because this is relatively, I don't know, it's relatively new. System Shock 3 apparently has only had its employees fired. Now, do you know what System Shock 3 is? It's a sequel to System Shock 2,
2, yeah.
which
was a cult classic.
Which inspired
BioShock and all that stuff, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's that whole thing. I was under the impression that this whole fucking game got canned.
I mean, that's what I would think if all the employees got laid off.
When we were Googling the shit out of this earlier, and I read multiple articles, all stating pretty much the same thing, nothing about the game is gone.
Yeah, one of them even said they turned to Kickstarter or GoFundMe shit to get the game done.
Well,
So,
that was the remake of the original.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, I did not fucking understand what this was trying to say. When you tell me that a studio has fired every one of its employees,
I immediately think, like, oh, they've ceased all production of said games. Indoor game. I know there's a lot of people that like the System Shock games. Like I said, it was a cult classic. I didn't play any of them. I know a lot of games were inspired by them. Especially System Shock 2, where it was just like a weird, creepy, psychological atmosphere. I believe it had multiple endings or something like that. I could be wrong with that. But
I know I think we fucked up. No, it is okay. So BioShock is a spiritual successor. When I was thinking about it in my head, I was like, "There's another game. It's fucking Deus Ex." Deus Ex pulled heavily from the System Shock. Yeah, BioShock.
I can see that.
Yeah. There you go. When we said BioShock, I was like, "Fuck, that seems wrong," just because of the futuristic atmosphere and all that good jazz. But yeah, BioShock did spiritual successor. Very, I wouldn't say direct sequel or anything. Obviously.
Speaking of BioShock, that's the PlayStation Plus free game. One of the PlayStation Plus free games of the month.
Which one? The collection?
This month. Yeah, the BioShock collection. So.
And what else?
Sims 4,
Wow.
baby.
You play it?
Sims 4? Nope.
You a Sims fan, by chance?
Not really.
It's terrible on console.
I had the Sims busting out on the GameCube back in the day.
That's not the same thing.
Why is it not the same thing?
Those games are not... If it's the same game I'm thinking about, they are not very sim games.
It was a weird one.
Yeah, they're not like simulation-based games. They're more of like an interactive character simulation thing.
That's kind of how it was.
Yeah.
There was a lot more like upgrading and money making in the Sims busting out.
Yeah.
As opposed to like...
I had one for the DS,
your
and it was
standard,
really weird.
Yeah, your standard sim game.
I had to go do dailies or something in it, and then you go explore a town.
Well, not to dive too deep down into it, but when I don't even know how the fuck I got the Sims busting out on the GameCube. That seems like a weird game to have, but I digress.
I had Herbs in the City. That's when I was about to Google it.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
I remember that one too, actually. But I liked playing Sims busting out just because it's just those are funny fucking games to play because they sit there and they talk to each other and they eat pizza or whatever and they do their like daily thing, and it's, to me, it's all good as long as you're controlling like your person. But like they had this thing in the Sims busting out where it's like you upgraded from like your mom's place to your friend's place to your place to whatever the fuck. You had to start taking control of more than one sim, and I didn't like that.
That's what a real sim game is.
Taking control of everybody?
Basically. You can start with one character, but you can drop a whole family in there. You've never played a real Sims game? Like a mainline?
Not personally.
Wow, that's crazy. I think everybody's played one of those.
Yeah, so to counteract that whole thing, because I remember there's one part where eventually you upgrade to like a sort of like a gym mansion combo thing, and you have to take, I believe it was 3 people you had to control. And you had to control their whole like daily routines, taking into consideration the things they like, their job schedules, and all that. It was like, that's too fucking much. You know how I'm gonna counter that? I'm gonna kill them. So, did the whole thing.
So that game seems like it actually starts you off not doing sim things, but then evolves you into like a full-fledged sim game.
Kinda, yeah. Because at first you start off, and like I said, it's just your sim, and you're like, I'm going to do this job. I'm going to do this job right here. And then they go to work or whatever, And then while they're at work, like the time speeds up like super quick. So you can see what's going on like in
Explaining
the house.
Every sim game ever. Yep.
Yeah, right. as sim games do. And then your character gets back from work and it kind of slows back down a little bit.
Back to regular.
Yeah, go take a shower, go play some games, eat some pizza, talk with whoever on the phone so you can keep that social standing thing. And then, like, as you get higher and higher, it's like, oh, I got to control 4 of these people now? Nope. I don't care about them. I want to control my sim. Kill them off. Lock them in the bathroom and delete the door.
That's how it always happens with me when I play The Sims. I actually recently played Sims 4 on PS4, and that was the first one I played on console. And it was atrocious because, god damn it, I had a shitty PC back in the day, but even a fucking toaster could play the original Sims.
Right.
And I played it on that, and it was a blast. You could click and do everything. Everything was UI'd better. Your GUI was just fantastic. Controllers and squares and triangle and circle does not make for a good sim experience. Anyway, it happens just like it always happens, regardless controller or mouse. I end up with my one guy, there's a neighbor, I get to know her, whatever, we end up having a kid. I end up trying to focus on one guy's fucking thing, and then he goes to, I'm trying to, okay, I gotta level this guy up. He's gonna go to work and come back and then study and do his shit, and while I focus too hard on that, she's feeling neglected because I haven't told him to talk to her. She's getting sad and depressed, wants to go do other things. He's focusing on one thing, so his hygiene and every fucking thing's going out the window. He's making a fuckload of money, but then he gets to a point where he smells like ass. He's getting degraded at work. She's leaving him, so he gets depressed. Yep. The kid gets shipped off to fucking boarding school and lives next door with the fucking neighbors for some goddamn reason. And my guy won't fucking do anything. Won't wash the dishes, won't clean the house. He just lays on the floor crying. And that's, I swear, every game of Sims for me ends like that shit. With just my guys crying on the floor at like 3 a.m., dishes and trash, and then I look around my room and I'm like, I am the Sims. Thank you. Good night. This has been Talking Snacks. I love you all.
No, that's why I started.
Did you like that? That was pretty good. I felt like that was a good presentation.
That's why I had to start killing off people in the Sims busting out, because they do that shit. Like for you to progress in the game, you literally have like social standings you have to upkeep, as opposed to like your hygiene, food levels, all that shit. So it's like dealing with one person's fine, because once they go to work, time speeds up. They come back, talk to that guy, play games with this person, go take a bath, sleep.
But that multi management.
Yeah, once you start multi managing people, it's like that guy's hungry, but I can't have him eat yet because he's already looking at him, thinking they're not friends anymore. So I have to have them talk, but then that leaves him starving. And it's like, what the fuck do I do? So drown him in a pool. Put him in a pool. Get rid of the fucking stairs. Have the Grim Reaper show up. There you go.
He's hungry. He needs a shower. Make dinner. He's too sad to make dinner. He's too sad to take a shower. They're both just crying in different rooms. Billy's playing video games. All right. We took too much time on that. Sorry. We play games. We have fun experiences. We like to share them with you. Sorry if it takes too long. Tangents.
I had to buy a completely new upgraded memory card just to play the Sims Bust.
Oh, it probably took a whole whole sleeve. Yeah.
I believe the standard memory card for the GameCube, you remember? Like the little flat, like rectangular gray one you just kind of plug in, was like, I'm just spitballing here. Yeah, that one right there. Nope, not that one. Yeah, that one.
They're both the same thing.
Hang on, let me see it. I think that's
This is my OG Animal Crossing memory card.
This memory card right here was not big enough for the Sims busting out.
Neither one of these are.
Yeah, I had to buy a what is this? Is this 32? It's like 32 megabytes, I want to say. Thereabouts.
Dog. These come with Animal Crossing because Animal Crossing takes up a whole memory card. Both of these are Animal Crossing versions.
That's my point.
Man, you could really tell this was mine from fucking forever ago. Look, I wrote this on there when I was... Welcome to Tut. Have fun. That was the name of my town when I was young. I'm so glad I still have that.
Nice. The listeners are eating this up.
Yeah, I'm sure they're hating us.
But yeah, no, I had to make a special trip to GameStop to get like I think it was like a 64 or 128 megabyte GameCube memory card, just so I could have
fat Mad Cats one. They have a little more
it stuck out like this far and it was thick as fuck, just so I could play The Sims Busting Out. So
and still have other
and still have other games on there.
Well, yep, that happened with that, and fuck if I know how the fuck we got off.
I don't even remember how we got on.
Man, we're terrible this week.
System Shock to Sims 4. Oh, free games. That's what it was.
Oh yeah, there you go. You did that. Damn it. All right. Yeah, System Shock.
System Shock, BioShock, Sims 4. There you go. There's how that tangent began.
Yeah. Feel bad, man.
That's how we do it.
It is how we do it. We're known for tangents, so I'm just going to roll with it. Anyway, let's move on to what we care about. This is where we talk about the new games coming out this week. Not every game that comes out this week, just the ones we actually gave a shit about. This week we have a little special sprinkle in for you, so just hang in tight for that if you've made it this whole hour and 30 minutes of us talking about politics, video games, and video games. What's first on the what we care about is something I thought Cuff would care about. As you may know by Cuff stating it every fucking week, he doesn't do the news. So he just comes over and he briefs over what I have written. So I try to bring things in that I think he would enjoy. Last week I think you told us, or 2 weeks ago you told us you were playing Yakuza.
6.
Yep.
It was on sale. Enjoyed the fuck out of it.
Well, that's why I figured you would enjoy Yakuza Remastered HD-ified collection.
Super HD.
Is finishing its run.
Yes.
Originally, I thought this was a new title, but I'm realizing as we briefed it, like we do, the news thing. This game came out earlier in 2019 and has been slowly rolling out the newer versions as they're available. And so the remaster comes with 3, 4, and 5. Mm-hmm. Am I right here? Okay. And 5 is being released. I think it's today. Yeah, it was today. So
it wraps up the whole HD package.
Yeah, apparently it was for the PS3, but now I got an more HD 60 FPS port to the PS4.
Yeah, it actually got an actual HD.
Yeah,
remake
from 720 to 1080 and from 30 FPS to 60 FPS. Yeah, it's good stuff. I found that weird the way they did that. How do you release an entire collection with downloadable add-ons to it?
I guess it's like that long-term strategy, as opposed to like, here's all of them now. You have this one game here.
No, it's only one of them now. It was touted as an HD collection, and then
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Back when they had the HD collection thing, I was like, here's 3, and then like 2 months later, now you can play 4, and then 2 months after that, now you got 5.
Longer than that, because I think it was like April to October to February.
Oh, then. Regardless, is like
that's a rough time. But I don't know. You enjoyed the Yakuza, so you maybe gonna go back and play these, or I would imagine that the collection is probably cheap now.
If my fucking taxes ever hit my bank account, probably I'll pick them up.
I know that feeling, bro.
Because that's a thing right now. Yeah, no, I fell in love with Yakuza 6. I don't know how it flew under my radar for so long, but.
It seems like something you would absolutely play. Like, knowing you as a person,
Any excuse where I can go play in, like, a Japanese kind of anime-style setting with tons of mini-games that have no fuck whatsoever to do with the actual game.
A little bit of violence.
There's a goddamn... When I talked about Yakuza 6 on here, I forgot to bring this up, but there's a mini-game in there you can play where you do live chat services. Like, with, like, online women's... If you're picking up what I'm putting down, you go to
like a chatterbait thing.
Kind of. There's like a little mini game where
like a chatterbait thing.
You go in there, and it's a QuickTime event essentially, where you have like a live woman on screen, like pre-recorded, filmed live woman on there, and she's like, "Hey everybody, what's going on? How's everyone doing?" And then you, the character, Kiryu, have to like do a QuickTime event to type out a message like, "I'm good, baby. How are you?" And then like it loads another like thing, and it does like a whole striptease deal. Fucking wild.
So
Sega did this.
I was gonna say, yeah, you enjoyed that one so much, so you should probably go back and see what you've missed.
That's the main reason I want to get back into them, because I think I said it on the podcast before I brought Yakuza 6 up. I didn't realize it was the same guy in all of them. But, yeah. Like, 0 all the way up to 6 is just Kiryu for all of them. The new one, in fact, Yakuza 7, I believe, is the first one where they switch main characters. So we'll see how that plays out. It's not available to North America yet because they got to localize it, translations, all that good stuff.
I don't think these consoles are gen locked or region locked. So
Are they not?
No. So you could go to the Japanese store and
I'll pass. I like my subtitles.
excuse me?
I like my subtitles.
You mean dubs.
No.
Yeah, I know.
I'm not a pleb.
Yeah, I know. Anyway, let's move on down the list. Damon X Machina, right? That's how I would say that.
I like dubs on certain things. just because I grew up with those, you know, and it's like from, I guess, a nostalgia point of anime. Nostalgia glasses of anime.
Yeah.
I prefer that. Like Cowboy Bebop, Full Metal Alchemist, Samurai Champloo, Pokemon. Gotta watch those in English. You know what I mean? Most modern anime, I'd prefer to see how they do it in Japanese. Japanese is a hype language when it comes to voice actors. You know what I mean? They have that.
Not for me.
Not for you? Fair enough. Oh, Dragon Ball Z. Gotta watch that in English too.
Yeah,
Gundam.
Most of my animes I've always watched in English.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
It doesn't have the same hype factor. You know what I'm saying?
I like to eat food and I can't hear over my chewing and stuff like that, you know?
I got
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway.
Is that even a real reason? Fuck it. Anyway, Damon X Machina, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. I like how we're able to say that. We fucking do a podcast. Holy shit. It was a Switch exclusive, and we talked about it actually coming to the PC. Well, this week it does come to the PC. I didn't play it. We looked up some gameplay. Holy shit, why would you ever play this on the Switch?
Beats me. It's janky as fuck.
It doesn't look janky. It just looks bland. This is a main reason to why I would never, if I was a developer, I would never make a Switch exclusive.
Or start out primarily on the Switch.
Yeah, a timed exclusive. Like, unless I worked for Nintendo and knew exactly what my hardware limitations were, I would never do this to my franchise.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm not saying this is a bad thing for Nintendo, but I'm saying that if you look at Daemon X Machina for Switch and you look at the PC port, it looks like two totally different games, and it's the same fucking game. But one looks like it's going to be fun to play, and the other one looks like fucking... I don't know.
One of them runs at 10 FPS, the other one runs at...
The FPS wasn't the problem. It just lost its lighting, its color, its pizzazz, man.
Probably everything they originally intended for it to be in the game.
That game probably came out swinging, and then they went to put it on dev kits and was like, oh, well
as it turns out, we've only got like half a smartphone's worth of space of hardware to work with, so we got to start making some cuts on processing power.
So go check that out. Just look at the differences, man. And I know people get paid by Nintendo to put exclusives on their platform, but fuck, this is a prime example of what your game should look like and what it has to look like.
It's a prime example of the Switch's limitations.
Yeah, but see, I don't think we're not gonna get into it. So I still love Nintendo.
So unless they release a Switch Pro or update their goddamn hardware, it's not looking good for them.
Fun fact, we covered that a couple of weeks ago too, and Nintendo has come out stating that they don't plan any hardware revisions for this year. But, fun fact, they also said that last year when they released the Switch Lite. So, what the fuck?
So I guess we'll find out with the Nintendo Direct. Maybe?
Yeah, that'd be crazy. I don't know. Anyway, this is a new segment that I'm just gonna straight up call Cuff's Random Anime Game of the Week. Do you want to start this from here, or can I preface it?
This is the first iteration.
There we go.
The debut of Cuff's Random Anime Game of the Week. This week's special is called Azure Lane Crosswave. In this game, you play as anime character. I guess I should not say characters. It's straight up anime girls, anime waifus, personified as battleships and/or aircraft carriers. And it's a bullet hell shooter game with all your necessities, dialogues, upgrading systems, a little bit of
little bit like what do you call those
mechanics.
Games? Novels, fucking goddamn it, I'm losing my words. Visual novels, yeah, almost looks like a visual novel, and it turns out that there's actually some pretty decent looking gameplay in there.
It's not bad. Very flashy gameplay, no doubt. But essentially like a 3D bullet hell game. Kind of like a Earth Defense Force type deal. But yeah, you play as some very scantily clad women who like to show off their panties for some reason. They have battleship armaments attached to their ligaments, and they straight up go to war. Is what we've seen from the gameplay.
Now,
9 out of 10 for me. Just
why? Why are there anime women?
Why anything?
Why are there anime women that are personifications of battleships?
Because battleships are boring.
You're absolutely right. And fun fact about the game, what's it called?
Azure Lane Crossway.
Uh-huh. Now, where did they get that name from?
This was actually based off of a little bit of Azure Lane lore for you, I guess we could say. Based off of actual battleships that existed.
Yep. Some fucking how.
Yeah.
If you look up Azure Lane, you'll find the mini wikis and the website for the actual anime-clad battleship women, if you will.
Back when Germany, Italy, and Japan was an Axis power.
And then you can also find Azure Lane ships from the war.
Yep.
So weird.
So if you like 2D anime waifus as much as I do, and you like bullet hells, pick up Azure Lane Crosswave.
The whole reason I wanted to make this a segment is because every week when we go to the news site that I go to for like my game releases for the next coming days, there's always some random ass fucking Japanese game that just has like a skimpy dressed anime woman. Last week it was that puzzle game.
Yep. Prisoner
Princess. Yeah.
Yep.
And then I swear there was one before that. There's been one every week.
Every week there's just like a fucking...
There's an anime game.
A lewd anime girl thumbnail, like a YouTube clickbait thing, just like there. And it's just some random shit. So
if you need...
we are dedicating an entire segment to anime games. If you need to get your fill.
Presented to you by...
Yeah, exactly.
By Cuff. Yeah. Seems fitting.
I
You're
think
more anime inclined.
I'm the anime guy of the duo.
Yeah.
So
feels good, man. All right. Last bit of what we care about before we jump into what will be a 50-minute podcast or an hour and 50-minute podcast. Dreams is finally getting its actual release through alphas and betas and beta alphas and pre-release alpha betas.
Pre-release early access beta edition.
Yeah. We're actually getting what is going to be just the craziest non-game game ever. We watched
non-game game.
We watched another trailer today. I think it was an older trailer, but when we broke it down, we looked at one little segment. They were actually programming a character in the game. It literally had a menu, and it was dubbed the microchip, and
attached to all like assets of the...
Yeah, it was literally like switches, ons and offs, and it looked like they were programming this character to be controlled by a controller in the game.
They literally turned like binary into a game form, is what it looked like to me. Because that's all programming is, when you think about it.
I mean, Little Big Planet did this to a smaller degree.
It's a much smaller degree, yeah.
Well, if you got really into Little Big Planet, you could do that kind of shit. Mm-hmm. Not, like I said, to a much smaller degree, you're right. But they broke that character down, because, this game could be 2D, 3D, it's whatever you want it to be. But when they broke that little panel down, and we literally seen, like... it was lines running from little points that had like icons on them to where I guess this is going to make her move. This is going to be a reaction to this. It was really broken down, and it was labeled, like I said, microchip. So it's literally telling you how this character is going to be moving around based off of how you program it. And once again, I want to ask, why is this for the PlayStation 4? I don't get it. I don't understand why.
Because Little Big Planet was PlayStation.
Yeah, but this took 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, they're staying true to their roots.
I guess, but this needs to make a port fast, probably. I don't see this doing too great on console. I'm sure people have a blast with it.
Little Big Planet did alright on PlayStation.
I'm sure people will have a blast with it, but I think...
Oh, you're just a PC elitist guy now.
I think you can't tell me that interface would not benefit from a mouse and keyboard.
But it's not staying true to its nature, man. You're just shitting on it because you're a PC Master Race guy now, I think.
I'm not. I mean, I'd love to see Little Big Planet on here, too.
I'm waiting to see like what kind of crazy shit people come up with this.
Because like we brought it up earlier in the podcast, early on in the early access, people already had a rough build of the Final Fantasy remake demo in the Dreams trailer.
That's wild.
Yeah. So yeah, you could fully play another game's demo in the early access of Dreams. Dreams is just a game on drugs, man.
It's nuts. It's a game engine that you play as a game.
Yeah,
and when we say game engine, we mean it. Cause
we don't mean it. Media Molecule means it. They've been doing this. It seems justified for the amount of time, I guess.
Yeah, so depending on how much effort you want to put into your quote-unquote game engine, quote-unquote game, it's nuts.
All right, and I guess that about wraps it up for what we care about. We're going to move on to topics to the table. This week is shared by Joey the A1 Day One. He sent in an Animal Crossing question, which I know sucks for you, but, it is a question. He asks, would we be okay with in-game transactions for Animal Crossing New Horizons? He said he could for sure see people being okay with buying furniture and sets instantly that they want.
Right off the bat, it seems alright with me, as long as it's a cosmetic thing, as opposed to a farming thing.
Absolutely not.
You're not on.
Absolutely not.
You're not on board with that.
No.
Okay. All right.
Because the entire Animal Crossing is all cosmetic.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing you do in that game has player versus player implications. All of it is just you. It's you building your thing. If you can just buy it, why are you buying the game?
No, again, that's why I said cosmetic. You're thinking pay to win. I'm saying cosmetically.
It's only cosmetics. What are you going to pay to win in an Animal Crossing game?
I don't know. Better fishing rods, some shit like that. I don't know how Animal Crossing games work.
I mean, I could see that. Okay, yeah. I'll get that. But no. I just don't see it being a good thing. The whole game is you earning your way up. That's what the game is. Earning your sets and stuff. Like, it used to take, unless you time traveled, if you wanted to get all your Christmas sets, you would have to play for at least like 2 Christmases.
Okay.
In order to get the full, I can't remember his name, but the Rudolph guy. He would come across and he'd bring you the little Christmas set, and you'd have to trade him some stuff and do some little quirks for him to get your set. I don't think that Animal Crossing will benefit in any way from a microtransaction. Just because they did it with Pocket Camp, they should stay far, far away from their mainline series with microtransactions.
I'm willing to bet this new Animal Crossing game will still have microtransactions in it. Probably not pay to win transactions, but they'll probably have some transactions regardless.
Again, I can see paid DLC stuff that's not available in the full game.
Maybe.
But I don't want something... It'll just hurt me. I'm not going to buy anything for it unless it's a DLC pack that will unlock extra stuff. But I'm not going to pay for, oh shit, here's an exclusive set that you can get by doing all this in the game. But instead of spending, 3 years, 3 Christmases in a row, you can have a full Christmas set.
That's how they get you. Literally invest your life into our game.
But it's a good question. I think that game is too pure to have microtransactions. But with the way Nintendo's been flaunting all their stuff, I don't know, man. You might be right.
It's not looking good.
Yeah, you might be right, but I hope not.
You got DLC on Pokemon now, so
yep.
Animal Crossing's the only next logical
is that a Nintendo thing or a Game Freak thing? Who knows?
Probably 50-50.
Yeah, they're both getting money, so we'll see. You got anything?
Nope.
Really?
Nope.
Damn, I thought you were hiding it. You've done it for the past 2 weeks, so that's why I figured.
I got nothing.
Yeah. All right. Well, this has been a long one.
It's a pretty good one.
Yeah.
Where we at?
Minute 50. Well, minute 48.
An hour 48.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Let's extend it longer with this question I have.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, you bitch. I knew it.
I got a topic to the table. This one comes from Kim Bonnell that asks, when are you going to put a baby in me? No. She actually writes in and says, if you could create one universal console using parts from the Switch, Xbox, and PlayStation, what would you use and explain why? Bonus question? Create a universal controller as well.
Did Kim write this in, really?
Yeah. It's right there.
Oh man, this is fucking silly. All right, so unify all the consoles into one. So what exactly do we mean by that? Are we trying to take a piece from each of them?
Yeah, take the. I'm assuming she's asking take the best parts from each console, put them into one. How do you think it works?
Well, I mean, ultimately, nowadays, if you'd asked me that question 10 years ago, it would have been a different question.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you're looking at a PC, and I don't want to. I don't want to.
No, I disagree with that.
I don't want to just throw that answer out there because that seems kind of lazy. But with the Switch thing, that brings portability into the question. But it's so hard to be original anymore, but especially with what was it, Alienware's tech they brought at was it E3 this year?
Either that or Gamescom or
it was GDC or something like that.
Yeah, something like that. For me, it's pretty simple. You take the hardware from the Xbox, slap the PlayStation controller on it, give it the portability of the Switch, you got yourself a done deal.
I mean, that's basically what that Alienware thing was, right?
Maybe. But if it could play all consoles, goddamn, I'm sold.
So you like the Xbox controller better?
No.
Oh, you like the PlayStation controller better?
I'm a fan of the PS4 controller. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
The Xbox controller, which like back
used to be the standard, man.
Back in the day, used to be the standard. The new one, the Xbox One controller, kind of bulky. Pretty thick with like 3 C's maybe. That's how thick. It's okay. It does the job. Don't get me wrong. I like the 360 controller for me was better. I think it was the right size. Joysticks were in the right place. But as I played PlayStation more, again the new like the PS4 controller, they got the length right.
The only thing different, really, between the 4 and the 3 controller is the joysticks and the triggers.
I think the PS4 controller seems a little bit bigger, maybe just a smidge, like lengthwise. Like I didn't have a PS3, but I played it a little bit at Jake's house, and every time I played something on there, it always felt like I was like strangling a puppy or something.
Yeah.
Where it was like your hands were almost like interlocked, like touching a little bit, and it was like your thumb. If you had both your thumbs on the joystick, it was almost like it almost felt like they would hit each other or overlap at some points. So like with the PS4 controller, they spaced it out a little bit more. It's just a good space, a good feel, I would say overall. And on the flip side, like I said already, the Xbox One controller is just a little bit too big. I feel like I'm almost like holding like a tablet.
Not Duke big though, right?
No, not like Mad Cat's controller big, but like,
you know what I mean. Duke, the OG Xbox controller.
Oh, with the black
Duke.
and white, yeah. That not quite that big, but still there where it's like when you hold it for the first time, you're like, whoa, this is a big controller. But I think that would be neat. You have the hardware from the Xbox, PlayStation controller, and the portability of the Switch with actual good fucking hardware, not shit Switch hardware.
Well, see, the PlayStation. Well, unless you're talking the Xbox One X, the PlayStation is technically superior, but the X,
Well, the Xbox X is native 4K.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Yeah, so
that's what I was basing.
Okay. Yeah, so that makes sense. One thing I do want to ask: are you a fan at all of the touchpad controller?
I'm alright with it.
Do you like the touchpad on it?
On the PlayStation?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's okay.
Would you keep it for next gen?
Yeah.
I like it. I don't think it's implemented as much as it should be.
Some games implement it more than others. I do like how it's kind of rare in most games, but
that's what I hate. I wish more games used it. It has utility. It's just not utilized. Is it?
I like the game. I like the games that it depends on which side of the touchpad you use. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like some games, you push in the right side of the touchpad and it brings up like its own quick menu or hotkey or whatever.
It can literally be like 5 different buttons at once.
Yeah, and then like the other side of the touchpad, like the left side of the touchpad, you hit that, it'll bring up another thing. I like that. That's pretty cool. And then like the options button, the start button, is its own separate thing. Usually like the pause menu or whatever. That's neat. I like it. I'm all right with that. I don't like doing the swiping shit You know what I mean?
I think I do. I hate that you said that last minute. Why would I feel like certain games have utilized that pretty well.
I haven't run into any games where you use that as a main thing. But trying to use the touchpad as like a mouse is a nightmare for me.
When I used it for 14, I thought it was as good as it could have been.
I never use it for 14. What did you use it for 14 on?
Selecting certain things on my HUD. Before I had a mouse...
Oh, like your inventory and shit?
Before I had a mouse and keyboard, it was the easiest way. Before I knew that game was compatible like that, it was the easiest way to drag and drop certain things to hotbars. It's the only way to like make hotbars like transferable. And I would use it to click on certain UI elements that were harder to cycle through. Like I think you could copy text chat with it as well, as long as you dragged and double tapped, and you could actually highlight text. I made a macro. I copied someone's PC macro before I did the keyboard and mouse thing. I used the mouse to drag over there. I used the mouse a lot in that game, actually. Just doing it like that.
I've used it a few times. The virtual mouse you're talking about?
No, not the virtual mouse. I forgot you could do that too. Yeah, you can click the buttons and have the virtual mouse. But I actually used the touchpad mouse to be like...
No, I never really used that too much.
It wasn't bad. It was really good. And I think The Witcher used it as a inventory thing. You could swipe on it to switch something. I can't quite remember. Infamous Second Son had a skill or ability that you used with it to like propel or drag in like ability. You were like draining shit from it. And there's just certain games that I feel like used it really well. And I hate that it gets all this negativity because it's not really Sony's fault for putting it on there and no one using it. It's just where basically games are ported from fucking everywhere else, and how the fuck do you just map something to that easily? You know, certain games, if they're given the time, you know, a little swipe left or swipe right to change a weapon, that's not that bad, you know. But I mean, you can map that to D-pads. But if everything's taken up, I think it adds something there, and I don't think it's been fully utilized.
That's why I like it more as a button, as opposed to like
the left and right click thing.
Yeah, as opposed to like a utensil, because there's not a lot of games I can think of that have really used it. I know,
which is the problem.
When Okami HD thing came out, like probably 2 years ago, maybe 3 years ago now, I bought that shit up immediately and played it on the PS4. And you could use the touchpad for that to draw.
But it's not big enough.
Yeah, to like draw like your slashes or your bombs or whatever. But it wasn't big enough. It was kind of awkward to use. You can use it to like anytime you could type in something, like on the PS4, you can use when it brings up the keypad, you can use it to navigate keys, as opposed to like left, right, down. This letter, and then typing it out that way. It's still but
by this point in
maybe
our lives,
maybe I've just got fat thumb syndrome or something. I just can't.
No. At this point in our lives, when it comes up to a digital keyboard, even though I've been on this for a good 4 or 5 months, you give me a PlayStation, you give me my fucking DualShock and give me the virtual keyboard real fast, and I'll show you how to fucking type a message in a minute, dude. I gotta slap them motherfuckers down. Fucking plebs come over and just, hey, you play Call of Duty? I'm like, hang on, let me send a message. I'm like, God damn. I remember my cousins watched me type a message one time on fucking PS4. You know, they're just casual gamers, but like they're just so used to it, and they just like, it's like, beep, 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 and they're like, Jesus Christ. I'm like, huh? Like, you just typed on a what? I was like, dude, it's just.
Also, I like the.
You don't have that time, especially when you're in between matches. You know, like playing Siege back in the day, when you had to bring up the messages before you could. You gotta be like, I ain't got this kind of time. Had to get that shit the fuck out of there and switch back, and the UI was terrible for PS4. Let's be honest. Shit froze up a bunch. Try to switch back to the game, and you're just sitting there.
You're not wrong there.
You're just sitting there for a goddamn minute waiting. Well, I double tapped it. I can hear you. I can't play the game yet. Right.
Also, like the the light bar and the internal speaker on the PS4 is pretty cool.
Oh, I love internal speakers on controllers. The Wii made me a big fan of those, and I know you're not. Yeah, When you say an internal speaker on a controller, I immediately go to Resident Evil 4 on the Wii.
Oh. I'm gonna say I don't know about that, but like I like the. There's a couple of games I can't name any off the top of my head except for like Death Stranding. That's the most recent one I've played that utilized it, but the little PS4 speaker there that's like right in between your analog sticks. Some games will use it for like ambiance or like third-party noises or whatever, background music and shit. Death Stranding used it whenever BB, your little baby that was on your chest.
Little baby.
Yeah, whenever he was freaking out, you would hear like little baby cries that were coming from it, like,
oh, that's
meh,
terrible.
Meh. Yeah, I mean, it would annoy the shit out of you. But
no, I mean, it sounds horrifying.
yeah, I mean, when the first time you hear it, you're like, whoa, that's a thing. But it was like a trigger, like an outside the game trigger to be like, yeah, you need to calm him down before bad shit happens. You know what I mean? So,
yeah.
So I like it when it's utilized properly. The light bar is also kind of cool, especially if you have lights off in your room and you're playing a game.
I think the light bar can fucking go fuck itself.
Okay.
I think that's half the...
You can turn it off, you know.
You cannot turn it off.
Yeah, I mean, you can put... Well, maybe not all the way, but you can dim it down.
Yeah, but it's half the reason the battery's bad. And the only reason it's utilized is because of VR. And the PlayStation Eye. So, that's weird. I don't know. I always thought that was garbage. You should be able to turn that off. And like, you can't turn it off. It's just... whatever. People have went into the controller itself and snipped that wire, turned the light off, and the controller works just fine. Why is there not an option to do so? Doesn't make sense.
Well, you got it. You might as well use it, right? Why do you have lights on your PC?
Well, one, they're not like battery powered. They're straight, you know.
They run off energy.
They do, but I don't have to recharge them every 20 minutes.
True, but it's only increasing your power bill.
Nah, it's okay.
Okay.
That's fine.
Well, Cam, I guess to answer your question, we seem to, for the most part, have the same answer. Xbox hardware, PlayStation controller, Switch portability.
I mean, it only makes sense.
Yeah, best of all the worlds right there, I think. In terms of user interface, I'm going to go with the PlayStation... I'm going to go with the PlayStation menu. I like the PlayStation menu.
It's okay as long as it works.
What do you mean?
Yeah, like I said, when you first got the PlayStation, fantastic. Worked like a dream. But it seemed like over time...
Oh, you're talking about like the store crashing and shit taking forever to load?
Yeah. Sometimes that UI just hung up and for no reason. It didn't even matter if you had a background on or not.
Yeah.
Sometimes you just hit the middle button in the middle of a basic-ass game and it would just...
It's funny you say that, because I remember when that used to be an issue. I guess they must have done a patch or a maintenance or something. That has not been an issue for me lately, so I guess Sony must have done something to fix that.
Literally, their last 500 patch notes are system stability updates.
System stability.
That's literally like all they do.
You know, because I remember it used to be bad to the point where it was like, let me check out the PlayStation Store. Loading.
Loading. That was the roughest. But I mean, I'm talking about like straight up pushing the middle button down in the middle of a game, and it would just
sit there with those four little logos just loading.
Sometimes it just hang up, just sit there, and you wait for your fucking menu to run, and you're like, God damn it. And I bought a Pro being like, all right, yeah, now we got that extra UI power, because that's literally the only like real difference. So, like a dedicated UI or graphical, dedicated power towards the user interface. That way you can multitask. It's still done the same shit. Granted, not as bad, but you know, you play in a graphically heavy game and you hit the middle button, it's gonna stutter. It's just what it does, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now that you bring it up, I haven't really noticed it too much lately, so maybe they finally got it fucking figured out.
Fucking figured out.
Figured out.
Alright, that about wrap it up?
That about wraps it up.
That about wraps it up for episode 23 of Talking Snacks. We did get long-winded. That is what we do. This is Talking Snacks tangent time, man. It really is. It really is.
So,
I want to thank everybody.
Start thinking about kid names?
No, we're good. I want to thank everybody that's sending questions. Thank you, Kim.
Valentine's Day is coming up.
Thank you, Joey.
It's in 2 days. What's your plans?
We'll figure that out.
Oof. That doesn't sound good. You going down there this weekend?
Yeah.
Nice. Gonna make a baby.
Just trying to wrap up the show. I'm just trying to wrap up the show. Anyway.
Jake tweets out, he says, a moose would be mad upset to find himself in Texas. He'd be like, I'm a goddamn moose. smoke dabs, get crabs.
Saint Piss. X.
Yep.
Anyway, this has been episode 23 of Talking Snacks. I want to thank everybody that's sending questions. Kim, thank you. Joey, thank you. Big shouts out to the Content Creators Union on Twitter, who's been, helping me promote myself on Twitch. Shout out to Brucey Horde. If you guys ever hear this, that's awesome. Yeah, just pretty much thanks all around. You guys can catch me twitching, pretty much. Streaming more on Twitch over at twitch.tv/SurSnack. And yeah, thank you guys so much.